Alrighty then. So, you guys had, as you know, after we discussed it all, I'm going to summarize everything that just happened. After 90 days of laying low, you guys received an invitation from Arcana to visit him at the Source Institute in Flamebridge. And during that time, you upgraded your gear, set allies to task, and ultimately settled into your guild hall, which is what you are looking at right now. A comfortable residence and workshop that has been renovated for you within the factory precinct of Consonance, a few blocks away from the Recovery Squad headquarters. Here you have two of your newest employees with the Left Stars that are sort of sitting outside with you at a little sort of helipad where you can see Mouse's airship ready to take off. You guys are on your way to Flamebridge quite soon. To describe Mouse's airship, you'll see a token of it here soon, but it's kind of like a science fiction dinghy, like a little pretty small boat. It has these two large yellow gems sticking out of the front and the back of the ship attached to the like figurehead as well as the rudder. And then there are these sort of like hourglass looking engine on each side of it, where there is a powder of this yellow sand as well. And as we sort of start off the session, we're going to have Fern sort of like talking to Mouse. And I'm going to turn on this thing because I think it's really funny. And Fern looks at you and says, "For a party of your size, all that should need is a simple level 1 spell on the bow or on the stern to activate the engine, and it should get everybody airborne. So there's a couple other bells and whistles, but I think you should be good to go."
Thank you so much. You've been very helpful.
Oh, it's not, I mean, not just me, but thank your friend Flint. I question one of his upgrades. But as long as you don't go too fast, you'll be fine.
What upgrade?
Basically, if you put sort of higher power spell slots into it, you can functionally hasten the ship, but it stacks. So if you really need to go fast, just make sure somebody's in control.
But it stops now.
It does, assuming it's not hastened, as just mentioned. So it can slow to a complete stop under normal circumstances, but if you're going fast, then just be careful.
That makes sense. Sounds fun.
Anything you want me to work on while you're gone? And she sort of like says that to the whole party.
She's like also sort of an artificer, or
it almost in a way that you are still trying to grasp. Like it's not quite engineering. It seems to be more like glyphs and whatnot.
you can work on just making upgrades around here, whatever you think seems appropriate.
Well, all right. I'll be here. So, and hope you guys have a good time. Definitely, sort of looking at Mouse, says, definitely just reach out to me if you need anything. You know how to reach me.
Absolutely.
And sort of then Aesop's mom comes out as well and says, another adventure. I'm excited to hear of this one. I am glad to not be joining it myself. Staying retired this time, hopefully.
I think you and I both wish that Dad would be here with you, retired, but we know that that's never going to happen. But I'm glad that you were willing to help us out here at the Guild. Hopefully, not hopefully. I know it's going to be a lot more slowed down pace.
Of course. And I tend to, I still have connections with the team, and so if anything is happening on their end that maybe you guys would be interested in taking on, I'd be happy to sort of be the bridge between the two organizations as well. So,
if anything,
Jacob, your audio's bleeding through a little bit sometimes. Speakers, maybe. Yep. Thanks.
Yeah, that'd be great. If anyone stops by looking for us, just note them down, their appearance, if they were mean or not. They had good vibes.
Will do. And she just sort of gives you a hug and hands you kind of like your backpack and sort of waves to the group and departs.
Bye, Mom.
Goodbye.
We promise to keep your son marginally safe-ish as best we can. Okay, great. Thank you for your hospitality. Bye.
I appreciate that.
I have better armor. Don't worry.
Any final things you guys do before you set off? Within reason. I don't want to stay in town.
Should we all go over what we got in our shopping trip, or does that matter?
Sure.
Mouse, it's good to see your face. Hi.
Yeah, sure. Let's you want to go ahead and start?
I did not write down what I got. Funny how I thought about it, and I didn't even write it down.
You got a Periapt of Wound Closure.
Yes.
Several potions that give you spell slots and make your spells stronger.
Yes. Millie and I shared some of those.
I think I used to grab one too.
And also, the Neptus Sapphire has been cured such that Aesop can summon Neptus to his side. For story purposes, I'm going to say like this is just sort of happened, so you haven't actually like done it yet.
Yeah.
You've just been sort of told that through sort of calling out to Neptus and holding the sapphire that you can do so.
Yeah. In the PCs folder, I don't see my character sheet.
I had to double click on the PCs.
Yeah, there's a subfolder that you just have to click into. You can also hit C to open up your character sheet, or double click your token on the map.
Thank you. I got it. And that the Periapt of Wound Closure stabilizes. While you wear this pendant, you stabilize whenever you are dying at the start of your turn. In addition, whenever you roll a hit die to regain points, double the number of hit points it restores. Since I seem to be squishy.
Squishy?
Yeah.
I think we're all much tougher now.
This is true.
We got
Yeah,
beefy.
Yeah.
Above board, just mentioned that usually means things just hit harder then.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Don't say that.
So, and I'm just going to run through some things quickly. So, Clax got +1 Great Axe, plate armor, and a shield +1, as well as a potion of speed. Drada got hand crossbow +1, a breastplate, is now rocking medium armor, boots of Elvenkind, bracers of archery, as well as miscellaneous potions, some that are more utility than sort of just making you strong.
Okay, money. All right.
Flint didn't buy any equipment, I don't think, but did like changed up his infusions pretty dramatically. Oh no, you bought the Eyes of Minute Seeing, which
Yeah.
give you
And I got a +1 shield so that I wasn't using an infusion on that.
Yeah. But I would say for the most part, Flint's equipment infusions just make him more protected and make his spells better, except for his winged boots. And then Mouse got Eyes of the Eagle, which helps give advantage on perception checks, shield +1, various potions, and I think that and got the diamond spyglass, which doubles as both scrying and as fuel for Revivify. I would also just briefly say that Drada's blade, the vampire blade that you guys got at the blood bank, was reworked just to help with the automation. It now has sort of some spells in it, and otherwise acts as sort of like a +2 weapon in melee situations with some bells and whistles, but it's pretty simple. Or it's simpler, but still lots of variety. All right. Well, you guys set off and take off to the city of Flamebridge. This is the way home airship. Pretty cozy voyage. It has it gained like maybe a foot or two since Mouse and her team had sailed through it. The rest of her team's squad had sort of used the space for cargo. For the purposes of you guys traveling, this essentially lets you kind of not have to follow the roads, which does give you a more direct route to the places that you're going, and which also just gives you a variety of safety and quite a bit of freedom while you're traveling. You probably, because you probably feel pretty cramped in here, you'll stretch your legs now and then on the surface, but for the most part, it is smooth sailing. So as you guys are approaching Flamebridge up here, a couple thousand feet in the sky, is there anything you guys want to talk about for 10 days?
We're on this little ship for 10 days?
Yeah, you stretch your legs now and then, but like land for an hour or so, but otherwise it's pretty cramped.
We need to get a galleon.
For just the usual passengers.
At a certain point, or several certain points, Drada gets tired of people and will fully just walk to the undercarriage, like the belly of the ship, and just lay down and just be like, I got space here and no one can talk to me. Also will be constantly pestering Flint about information about Flamebridge and connections and secrets in the naggiest, most annoying way possible.
It's been a long time since I've been to Flamebridge. Oh,
It hasn't been that long. We know you don't want to talk about it, and that's like fine, but also we're about to be there, so I would really like to know the information. Thank you so much.
I mean, I think I've probably been away from Flamebridge for at least 5+ years, I think. And it's a fast-growing city. Lots probably changed.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
I think I would spend my time using up a lot of my spell slots to have phone calls, essentially, but through messages and reaching out to people. I think I have that spell, don't I?
You have sending, yes.
Yes. So I would, even though it's not a lot of information you get through, I'd still take the time to spend the spell slots to do so, especially if there's not much to do on this ship besides look out into the environment. I'd probably call back home to parents, but mostly to Jory. See how he's doing. Oh God.
What do you say?
My man.
Got a little hotter, yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just an update on how his essential work trip tour is going. If he's learned anything new, Made any new friends? Any drama that's been happening?
He says, I'm just leaving Dusklight, and I'm actually on my way to the Source Institute for give or take a week or so. I won't be there for a few more days, but if you're in town, let me know.
Source Institute, that's in Flamebridge, right?
Yes, that's where you're going to meet Arcana.
Oh,
One of the many libraries on his trip.
it's gonna be even hotter in Flamebridge, y'all. Okay.
I will say that this conversation is he tells you this close to arriving, so you get the impression that you would beat him there if you went straight there.
That's fair. Okay. That's good information to know. To note. Just that I miss him and hope that he's doing well. Hopefully we'll get to see each other soon. I'll let him know that I'll be in Flamebridge as well.
I miss you too.
Okay, that's it.
All right. Anybody else?
At least once while we're on the trip, I use spells and just to entertain everyone, create a lightning storm.
Entertain.
Nowhere near this little boat, right?
No, just in range.
You're welcome to do so if you want. You just don't have to strike the boat necessarily. You are, I think, generally in this situation, you're sailing below the cloud level, but not to the point of being endangered. So you're good. Clax, anything on your mind as you're approaching?
I think Clax actually just spends a lot of time kind of, for lack of a better term, reflecting being up here in the sky. Thinking about, I believe it was Garnet with the wings. Garnet had the wings, and then just thinking about what it'd be like to be a Dragonborn that could fly, and kind of trying to take it all in, knowing that, it's a privilege to be up in the skies.
Oh, do you want to fly?
It'd be pretty cool.
How fast is our boat moving? If
30 feet per second. It's not a fast boat.
Sure. I'll at some point while we're on this burn a spell slot and cast fly on Clax, so he can fly at I think 60 feet for 10 minutes.
A significant awkward first couple minutes trying to figure it out, and then just flying all over, acting like a fool. Probably drop some stuff out of my person that's not secured correctly. Hopefully nothing important. Maybe like a shekel or two here or there. But really enjoy it, and just enjoying being up in the air.
Drada, absolutely aiming very wide, uses this as a great target practice opportunity.
Of course. I think it's the first time a bolt goes past. Kind of gives the shrug.
I better.
Alrighty. So 10 long days, more like 10 and a half, because you, as I said, do have to stretch your legs now and then, lest you go absolutely insane. And you do arrive in Flamebridge after some time. You start to see it on the horizon, early morning. At this point, you know that as you're starting to get after 90 days, like you're well into kind of fall at this point. In the last session we had played, we were sort of still like midsummer, and you had started to get used to the cooler weather within consonants. But as you start to approach Flamebridge, your perspective on that changes a little bit. Not that there's necessarily kind of an intense heat that hits you this high in the sky, but it is the smog and the smoke of, just factories that sort of meet, as far as the eye can see, some kind of pollution trail that is coming out of the city from nearly every corner. Flamebridge is a bit more industrial than anything you guys have seen before, including, I would say, Flint. The last time you were here, the city had been something that you could veer around on the road south, heading south towards the southern ends of Ventus, but it has since expanded beyond the road, and it is almost kind of figuratively a bridge in itself to get from the northern end of the continent to the southern end, just with the amount of expansion that has taken place here. Many of the buildings are sort of varying degrees of metal. There is this sort of river running down the city that sort of divides what you, Flint, would recognize as like the sort of like inner city, and then the outer city. And the outer city, a lot of it is sort of, although there are a lot of like various workshops and stuff out there, it is not necessarily where things are happening. And the outer city has sort of grown significantly, such that, especially on the outer edges of it, you're starting to see just buildings, scaffolding going up, just barely. But in that sort of, the space between the inner and the outer city is sort of marked by one main entry point, which is this large bridge, that all commerce runs through. Anything that is on a wagon has to be brought into the inner city through this bridge, and it is constantly being scanned by this large glowing eye from the big domed building at the center of the inner city. Flint, I know you, in the time that you spent here, the quarry, which is just one of your stomping grounds, one of the districts that you had sort of visited before, is kind of like it is in the inner city, but it's sort of like it's on the outskirts of it. It's not necessarily like that fancy of an area, but as you guys start to approach the city, you do see what Flint would know, just probably briefly, something that occurs to you from being here so long ago. You do see the sort of glowing blue crystal of the Source Institute in the far distance, within the inner city, and you do know that is sort of where you've been called to primarily. However, the airship parking is in the outer city, and so the only way in really is through the bridge, unless you were to try to fly directly into the inner city, which you don't really see very often.
We should park over there. Did the whole like scanning of the bridge thing happen even back when I was living here, or is that new?
It did happen back then, and you, I would say, from your history with the Jade Mask, the challenge of getting things past the bridge is in large part due to the eye, due to the scanning.
Do I know if this is something that would penetrate my bag of holding?
I think roll me a Arcana check. Okay, with a 17, you are pretty sure that it won't. Your best guess at how this has worked, based on your prior work here, is that it seems to be sort of tracing like heat signatures, which like would go through. Sorry, to be clear, heat signatures that would go through objects. such that it could detect something in a normal bag if it had a heat signature, but probably not something like a bag of holding.
Okay.
But you guys, sounds like you pull the airship into the dock. This airship is small, and it's probably the smallest one that anybody has ever seen, and so the ability to park it is often a little bit awkward. And it's sort of like as you're pulling up, you pull up to a complete stop, but you're not quite sure where to put the car, where to put the car functionally. And a sort of soldier, these are the Ember Cloaks, make up the sort of local guard force here. And one of them at the top of the tower sort of looks at you all on the ship and says, "What is that?"
What is what?
The thing that you're riding.
Ship.
Paperwork, please. You guys have something from the Guild Federation, but you hand it over, and he just sort of, you see him like bring the goggles down to take a closer look at it, and ultimately gives it to you and says, "Everything checks out, but probably set it down on the ground floor with the wagons. We don't have a hook for you."
Is it going to get stolen down there if it's on the ground with the wagons?
Are you questioning the security of this facility?
I just, it's a new airship, and I just want to make sure it's safe and secured. You can understand my concern.
Roll persuasion check for me.
Great.
You're gonna roll 1,000,000. It doesn't matter.
Crap. Well, as soon as Aesop says this, I'm going to start evaluating, like, what's the security setup, what's the layout, what's going on. See if I can clock how many guards there are. Just get a feel for what they have set up for precautions.
Okay. You can go and roll investigation as well. All right, just
Incredible.
rolling our 20s.
Uh-huh.
29.
And you probably
Big
got,
smile on my face.
yeah. And Clax, you probably got a pop-up prompt for
Yeah.
that. So that's how it works. Just so you know, if you ever need to choose to use a superiority die on that thing, it'll ask you.
Thank you.
So I would say, like, right now where you're at, Clax, it's hard to kind of get the sense of it. It seems like there are probably a standard amount of guards on the tower, but you're just not sure what kind of like heat they're packing, so to speak. Like if they are ready for war per se, or if they're just sort of standard guards. And Aesop, you sort of, I think there's this moment where you maybe questioned whether or not he knew how to do his job. It was the fear, and he just says, "Listen, I'm sorry about that. It's been a hard day.
I get it. Totally get it.
Hey, we'll take care of it. Don't worry about it."
Thank you so much.
He gives you a little smile.
I'll give him a little smile back.
And you guys drive the airship down to the bottom level, which similar to some of the other airship towers that you've seen in Vind or in Consonance, it has sort of like a parking lot gated area. And although you were initially sort of asked to park amongst the wagons, you see that this guy does signal for you to take one of the sort of like private garages. And you all depart the airship. You're kind of right now on the outer edge of the city, and you know that you sort of have to make your way into the inner city, but I would ask, what is your destination?
I don't know about you guys, but I could use a real bed, so maybe we find some lodging, figure out where we're staying for at least a day or two.
I mean, that Sounds great. I also wouldn't be mad. I mean, was it 5+ years ago? So may you say. But also, like, show us the haunts. Show us the Flamebridge of your youth and yesteryear.
I have
Sure.
one place that I've prepared, which is called the Smelted Mug.
Smelted mug, yeah, sure. I
What?
know an old bar that I used to go to. We'll go to the Smelted Mug. At some point. But we should also we gotta go to the meet Arcana. Do we want to do any investigation with what's her name? Had a shop here. One of Selnivon's people.
Brigel.
No,
Hmm.
no, not Brigel's the weird.
Is it Ember?
It's Brinstriana, the apothecary.
Shiana has a shop here, so we could go spy on that.
Let's get a real bet first.
Yeah, I second that.
And the Smelted Mug is, for your awareness, it is in the Quarry District. And so it's sort of where, I would say, the general neighborhood of where you have spent quite a bit of time, kind of not just, it was referred to as the Quarry because there used to be a stone that was here, but even as you were in your last year here, that had sort of been dug up and repurposed for various projects, and so it has sort of just become a little bit of a development as buildings have popped up. But you guys start to head into the city. There are trains available here. They're pretty small. They're not like kind of big Amtraks as we know them, but they do get you from point A to point B faster if you ever need to. But you guys arrive pretty early in the morning, and the Skyport is not it's not tremendously difficult to get around from there. So as you guys start to make your way into the inner city, Klax, go ahead and give me another investigation check. Just, I know you're continuing to keep an eye on things as you there you go. As you're sort of paying attention to the larger city, it actually does feel to you like it is very well defended. However, one thing that I think you clock is that, and you don't know much about them, but these are not necessarily city guards. It seems like all of them have a all of the sorts of guard forces you've seen here, of which there are several, which I'll talk about in a moment, all have like this insignia with like a golden flame, and they all seem like kind of a little bit less like guards and more like a private militia that a noble would have, that are sort of commanding throughout the whole entire city. They're not necessarily like bossing people around, but they seem well paid to keep an eye on everything. And across the different types of guards you see, there's sort of the Embercloak soldier that you saw earlier. They kind of carry shields as well as hand crossbows, and you're not really sure what else they're capable of. But you've also seen a number of sort of like fire mages that seem to be kind of the lieutenants of the group, and in some cases you've actually seen them flying around from location to location, kind of like using their fire as a jet engine to blast off in different directions. You also have seen a number of auto turrets that are just sort of like at certain intersections of the city that are just sort of like panning from left to right, that seem to have like similar scanning technology perhaps to what this big tower does. And that's something, Flint, you actually haven't seen these before. This seems to be a new addition. And lastly, although I say with a natural 20 because there's not that many of them, but you do see one. Like if there's something that is above a lieutenant, it seems to be this like kind of like robot automaton that is sort of like full silver armor and has like these two blades sticking out of its arm instead of arms, and it seems to be on like a pretty stern patrol throughout the city. So all things said, you don't know much about what the deal is here in this city, but it seems like somebody has paid these people well, and has built quite a defensive force.
Well, this place is pretty tightly guarded. Was it always this way?
Why they needed me to do the smuggling? No, I don't remember it being quite this extreme. Feels a little more aggressive now.
Who runs the city?
Is that something I know?
When Klax is sort of pointing out the flaming sigil on people's uniform, you didn't quite make this connection before because it wasn't always true, but you believe that Lord Pyre must be paying for the militia at the very least.
Well, shit. This big jerk Lord Pyre seems to be running things now.
And Lord Pyre would be?
Like how we don't like puddles? Like, I think he's like the fiery version of that. Like,
great.
He's the jerk that runs this place. And apparently has quite a bit of power now. So we should maybe not piss him off.
So in other words, if
Who
you
had
need him,
power-
you need to keep my mouth shut. Sorry, John.
Yes, I'll also try my best. Probably do poorly. Who was in power when you were here then? Like, what has transitioned?
I don't recall who was in like the highest ranking person. Lord Pyre was a noble at the time, but I don't think he was like controlling, all the security and everything else quite to this extreme. Like, I think he was just sort of more of a regular noble at the time. So, clearly he's.
I love a jackass controlling a surveillance state. That's so fun.
What is here that requires so much security? Are people just... And who's coming after it? Like, who are the guards guarding against?
Flint, you can roll me a history check if you would like.
Sure.
Okay. I would say with a 16, when you were here, there was a lot of like talk about how this could be the, next metropolis of Ventus, and it could sort of like rival continents in its industry and whatnot. I think what you do know is that when it had been settled initially, there was sort of like a series of sort of like small hills and mountains that had some serious like metal ores and gemstones. And so at the time it was sort of built opportunistically to take advantage of those materials. But you also do know that among the things that sort of popped up here was that there was a big jade mine. And so jade sort of being useful for its transmutation properties, that has sort of aided in the construction of this place as well.
There's a lot of money here, a lot of valuable resources, so maybe they're just trying to protect that. But Still feels a little much.
Also, I mean, even if Flint does not mention the word Jade specifically, I think Drada's brain is on Jade Mask, and would just this entire walk be looking around to see if there's any evidence of Jade Mask happenings, just a glimpse of a mask in an eye, or shady dealings going on in any way?
Sure. Give me a perception check.
Flint is also keeping an eye out for any signs that he was familiar with at the time or whatever that might indicate, Jade Mask. But
You guys are just using all your 20s right now. You can give me a roll as well, Flint, if you would like. But Jesus.
we are all on high alert.
I think so it's sort of as you're starting to approach the bridge, and this is something that Flint you would probably know to expect, but you do see at the sort of like entrance to the bridge from the from the outskirts of the lower city, that there is like a little tent set up, like a green tent that really contrasts against a lot of the other like dull grays and browns of this place. And you do see that there's like an attendant there who is wearing a jade mask, and who some people seem to be meeting with as part of their entry into the bridge. Drada, you rolled like a little higher, and so I would say like you sort of see this a little bit before Flint does, and you see somebody hands over a bag of gold and points over to one of their carts. And before the jade mask sort of nods and writes something in a ledger. Flint, you see this tent, but this is not necessarily how business would normally go down. This feels a little bit more formal to have like a storefront.
Would an elemental gem be a heat signature? Would that cause a heat signature in this sense?
Not in. I mean, I don't think you would know, but it doesn't feel hot. So
I just don't know how the city feels about elementals and about me bringing one in. That's what I'm realizing as I'm approaching the bridge.
I mean, it's a pretty industrial place. I'm sure there's like a ton of elementals. It's got to be like a normal thing to have them, I think.
yeah,
That's fair. Okay.
they're not easy to come by, but there's people who have fire elementals working forges instead of bellows and stuff like that.
That's fair. Okay. Didn't know if it would raise an alarm or anything, so. Oh, good.
So are you guys just crossing the bridge and going to the smelted mug, or is there anything you're trying to do on the way?
Are there any like signs or posts or people yelling or whatever about like contraband or things that you're not allowed to bring in? Like when you get off the plane and it's
No,
like,
none of it at all. It seems like there's an understanding that maybe through reputation on what happens if somebody were to bring something into the city that they're not supposed to.
Do I recall types of things that you're not supposed to bring into the city?
Roll me a history check.
I was gonna, if we're walking the streets going up to the bridge, I was gonna ask like a random shopkeeper, like, hi, like, new to the city, just trying to make our way through. What's not allowed across that bridge? Because, we don't want to cause alarm. We're just trying to do business.
Are you asking just like a random commoner or the Jade Mask?
I'm not going up to the Jade Mask. In fact, I don't even know. I don't think I was part of that whole scene, so I don't even know if I know they were there. So just a random person.
All right, I have my average commoner art.
Lovely.
There's some guy who is
He's so attractive. How dare you?
Unfortunately, when you feed in certain prompts into AI, they just all look like white smiling people. So that's just what you get. Pretend
AI isn't racist or broken.
Yes,
It's
yes.
fine.
So anytime you see this portrait, assume it's somebody different and not this one guy.
Nope, always this guy.
Or necessarily the four people next to him. But anyway, you sort of talk to this guy and he says, I think that if you're planning to, it's more just measuring that you don't come in with anything super dangerous, or that you don't come out with anything that you're not supposed to have. They tend to track certain items within the city, so it's sort of scanning both ways.
I see. What's, I guess, like magical items considered dangerous?
I don't have any of those, but
no, that's fair.
I'd say I've seen some people get taken away for like alchemist's fire and stuff like that.
Got it. All right.
Only in large volumes. Like it's really about, like, some people just got to carry stuff with them. But
right.
If you're carrying a bomb in your wagon, then that might be a problem.
Right. All right. Well, good thing I don't have any of those, right? Have a great day.
Goodbye.
I only have one flask of alchemist fire. It's fine.
Yeah, I'll let Flint on the information about like more alchemy stuff. Make sure you keep that shit hidden.
Yeah, I mean, you think one flask would be fine. It's like, like there's a legal limit. You don't want to carry too much.
We don't feel like we are going to be seen as a threat to the city.
Based on what I think is in your inventory, I don't think you would think that.
Okay.
Which, like, honestly disappointing. Like, I would love to be powerful enough to be a threat to the city, but that's an aside.
I mean, I got some extra gold if you want to run to a town over and buy some, large...
Okay, let's fly back to consonants.
I would say, like, I mean, whether you feel like you are a threat to the city or not, you all do stand out here. The people here are dressed very much for the heat. They are not many people are trying to be super fashionable here. The people sort of like have a lot of dirt on their face, and you guys, although it is starting to accumulate ever so barely, you are getting glances as like sort of like hushed whispers of people wondering who are the newcomers. It seems like a lot of the people on the bridge, not that they all know each other, but there's sort of an element of there's an element of like not many people who don't work here will come here.
I think in advance of the bridge, like if there's ever a moment where they're like the party's walking around a corner or just a little out of sight, I think Drata would probably being antsy about the bridge itself, cast Disguise Self, just to put on a, like, even if it's like just like trying to mirror his surroundings and like go like, great, like face paint gone, caked with dirt instead, like a little like dirty tank top vibes, just like sweaty and toasty and someone who works with their hands.
All right. Make sure to spend the spell slot. But as you guys start to go into the city, there sort of seems to be a line. It's relatively fast moving because you get the idea that the scanner is doing most of the work. But you do see that there is somebody kind of like at the other end of the bridge, kind of like far in the distance, that is sort of asking questions of each wagon that comes in. Usually it seems pretty much like a formality that you're just sort of going in and sort of stating your purpose. But as you're sort of like approaching the front of the line, you do get the sense that there's like a record of who's coming in and out. Go ahead and we'll go ahead and do this really quick. I'm going to use my new little fancy roller thing. Let's see if there's a perception check.
Ooh, that is really cool. Oh, I just need to move stuff.
Is this site based?
Yes.
There's my low number.
Alrighty.
Oh,
That is-
failure. Damn. All right.
I think Drada succeeded at the very least.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you guys see the.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. You
Yeah.
see the dice screen. Drada, as you are sort of making your way through the bridge, although they are not necessarily looking closely at you, you do see that you've acquired a tail. There is a couple spaces in line behind you, sort of like sitting in the shadows of a wagon. You do see the outline of a jade mask. And although I'd say the DC was so high because it's hard to read facial expressions through the mask, but was very pointedly pointing towards Flint.
Incredible.
Oof.
As soon as that information could be quietly communicated. Oh boy, it will be.
You guys end up approaching the front of the line, and one of the soldiers, who's smiling for some reason, I have to figure out how to turn that off. Make him not smile. There we go. Sort of looks at you all and says, "Out of towners, never seen you. What brings you to Flamebridge?"
We have a meeting with Arcana at the Source Institute to discuss matters.
Sort of like narrows his eyes and then scribbles something down and says, "And who are you?"
Oh,
Are you-
hi. I'm Aesop. That's the 2 P's at the end.
And your group?
The left stars.
Right. Very well. You're free to travel throughout the city. Do you have any questions? I don't think I've seen any of you here before.
Yeah, where's the best place to grab a beer?
Just about any blacksmith will have a barrel. They work long hours here.
Thank you very much.
Best sleep to rest.
There's so many. We got to keep the line moving.
Oh, well, okay, you asked.
And he waves you through. He was more like, any important questions?
My question was pretty important.
But as you sort of like get past the line, you guys can sort of get out of the crowd and sort of find a more quiet place to check in Drada.
Yeah, truly, I think just like as we are walking in a slightly less crowded area, still like occasionally like looking back out of the corner of my eye, but not trying to draw too much head motion, like movement. Just walk up to Flint as we're still walking and just, go, oh, just wanted to let you know that we have a certain friend a couple paces behind us who was wearing a green mask.
Oh, do you think
And
I
they
should say
were
hi?
looking. I think that's a you question, but they were specifically looking at you. So congrats, you're home.
I mean, we'll see what they do. Let's see if maybe they want to make the first one.
I mean, hey, if you want to be provocative, I'm going to learn so much backstory so quickly, and that's really thrilling to me. So,
All right. You guys continue into the inner city, where things are happening a little bit more. I mean, it's still kind of like highly industrial here, but this is sort of where you're starting to see a lot of boxes be loaded and unloaded. There is a sort of smell of like sulfur in the air. It's clinging to your nostrils. As mentioned, there's just about like kind of the equivalent of like there's a Starbucks on every corner, except there's like a blacksmith at every corner. You are hearing sort of the constant sound of hammers hitting anvils, and various forges being lit. And this is the area of the city that is starting to get a little hotter. Not to the point that it is like mechanically uncomfortable, but just sort of, especially for those of you who have fire resistance, I think you're actually feeling pretty fine. But nonetheless, you've entered the inner city. As you start to get into the quarry district, you find yourself at the Smelted Mug, which is a like sort of has two sort of separate buildings. That one that is sort of just like the tavern area that sort of like literally has just beer in the corner and a number of tables. And that occasionally people will sort of do like little engraving work at their table as they're sort of like calming down for the day. But then also there's sort of like is a like adjoining building that has a sort of like set of rooms. And I would say like this Flint, this is just sort of like one of your, like if you had a late night and you wanted to tinker with something over a drink, this is kind of where you would do it.
Is it basically the same as when I was here last, or is it?
It seems to be for the most part. You walk inside, and it is sort of like a little, like at this time in the morning, there's probably like a few people actually sort of like passed out on a couple of these tables. But it's relatively quiet in here, and seems to be kind of the cozy atmosphere that you've enjoyed before. Go ahead and roll me a perception check, though.
So many good rolls today.
I know. It's concerning. At one of the far tables, at kind of like your old table, one of the individuals that you see sleeping there is your old half-orc friend Thok.
Man.
Currently passed out because it's pretty early in the morning.
And that was THOCK?
KK.
All right.
It's definitely not one of the like just standard names for a half orc in the player's handbook. Huh. Yeah, I don't know that it occurred to Flint that he would see people he recognized for whatever reason, and
there's something like a little nostalgic of seeing, like, I think you look at your old table and you just happen to see him there.
Yeah.
But also random commoner sort of looks at you, smiling apparently. I have to turn that off, and says, "You're early here for the. What do you need?"
I think a couple of rooms.
How long? We've got them.
What do you guys think? Like 2 days? I don't know how long we're gonna be here.
We pay each night. Pay as we go.
Yeah.
What are you here for? Working or visiting? Sort of looks you up and down.
Some meetings with some folks.
All right. All right. He just, I would say it's like 2 gold for a week. It's not that much. So
I will give him 2 gold.
Says, drinks are free as long as you don't drink too much. Help yourself. And then just goes to like sweeping floors.
Clax, have you ever been anywhere where drinks are free?
Nope. Already reaching over the bar, tapping the cask. Don't worry, I'll take your guys' share. Thanks.
Okay, so we're gonna be down a party member our entire time in this city. Great.
Yeah, and
Incredible.
it's not necessarily a brewer's paradise. This is pretty standard ale, but nonetheless, after a long trip in the sky.
Bingo. So what's the next steps? Do we turn in?
It's
Anything?
6:40 in the morning.
Oh, yeah, but we have. When was the last time we were asleep?
I mean, the airship travels 24/7. It sort of like is on autopilot, so you guys were able to sleep without issue while flying.
Then maybe I'll only have one beer since it is first thing in the morning.
We can explore around, see what kind of markets are in the area, get a lay of the land. Flint, if you feel comfortable with that.
Yeah, I mean, hang on. And Flint walks over and like sits down next to this half-orc and, you know, just sits there for a second to see if he wakes up.
He's sleeping.
Eventually, I'll tap him on the shoulder and be like, hey, Thar.
Huh? What?
Hey, I haven't seen you in years.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Hey.
How's it going?
Oh, wow. I can't tell if I'm having a crazy dream right now or if I've been dreaming all night.
Oh, they let me out. I'm back.
You're back.
For a little.
And is everybody else like hanging out here still?
I'm giving him his space, but I'm just keeping an eye on the interaction.
Yeah, I mean, he sort of looks over Flint's shoulder and is like, seems
Got a new
busy.
crew.
Oh. Hey, new crew. He just sort of like waves.
What are you doing now?
You sure I'm awake?
Yeah. It's pretty early though.
Well, just making do, I think. What are you up to?
Oh, you know, just working for some new guy now.
Oh.
You still working with like the Jade Mask, or you on like straight and narrow now?
During this, Drada absolutely grabs a thing of ale and brings it over to Thok, being like, gotta get you started. Maybe this will help wake you up, and then walks back away listening so intent.
Says, thanks. Yeah, not so much these days. Just, maybe retired, I guess.
Good.
Hanging out here. I suppose I was waiting here for you, but I don't know. I just found this table comfortable.
Waiting for me? You must have been waiting a long time.
Well, listen, what time is it? He like looks out. Dude, like there's sort of like barely light shining in from one of these windows, and says, "Oh shit, you staying here?"
Yeah, we're gonna probably be here at least a couple of days.
Oh, all right. Well, maybe see you tonight then.
Yeah.
All right. He just sort of like downs the mug that was given to him and just sort of says, sort of like waves to everybody and says, "I'll see y'all later," and he leaves.
Who was that?
That was just an old friend of mine, but I don't know. Seems like he was doing okay. He's not working for the Jade Mask anymore, I think, so that's good. He wasn't good at this.
Like, clarification, is that like just like an organization that we can just say openly here? Is that just like part of the culture?
You know, it wasn't. I don't feel like when I was here, but they seem way more out in the open now. So maybe.
Maybe this Lord Pyre guy is also funding their like thievery and.
That's fair. When I was here last, I don't think I knew that the Jade Mask was like an official guild and state sanctioned and everything. It felt way more like a, underground, like thieves guild kind of thing. And I think Lord Pyre had some sort of connections with them. And maybe they've become way more official and out in the open about it. I don't know. Do you guys think Arcana's up yet?
I
Does
get the feeling
Arcana
that the man
keep-
never sleeps.
Yeah, that one.
Beat me to it.
Do we trust Arcana enough
No.
to potentially give him this necromancer's book we've got? Like,
Absolutely not.
alright, we should really find
I think we
something
should
to
give
do.
him. I think we should give him every single magical object we've ever found on Earth. I think that would just be really great for us and
We
the
would
world.
build a really solid relationship with the guy.
I don't think this is a book that we should carry around for a long time. We should figure out something to do with it. But maybe he's not the right guy.
I'm open for options. I think rather than just giving it to him, maybe depending on how conversations go, this is a deal sweetener, a bargaining chip, something along those lines. So let's refrain from just giving it to him, but let's. I'm not opposed to parting with it, is what I'm saying, but let's get something out of it for it. Especially because I have a feeling he's going to want a lot more than a book.
I mean, I don't want to give him the book as like a present. I sort of want to like see if he can destroy the book for us.
Oh,
We'll
Would
see how it
he,
goes.
though?
I mean, I don't think there's anything like, I don't know. Maybe this book is more powerful than I think it is, but I feel like to Arcana, the spells at least contained in here and the knowledge or whatever seems kind of small potatoes, but maybe there's more to it and he would be interested. But we'll see how the conversations go.
Well, you still have, of course, plenty of the day. And things in the city, there's no big fortress to walk around, so you tend to be able to navigate it relatively quickly, especially if you do wish to take the train. Where it sounds like you were thinking about heading in that direction, you also have. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff in the city that you might have an interest in. I know that I'm just sort of recapping for the purpose of... I'm not trying to railroad anybody, just sort of recapping some of the things we've talked about. There's potentially trying to find Prince Triana and the Apothecary. There is the Source Institute where Arcana is. There is... anything more related to the Jade Mask that you want to sort of track down? There's, talking about Dawnbringer stuff, which I would just sort of to set the location, Flint. You have an idea where in the upper city that, where like their recruitment facility was that you've seen before. Should you wish to go there.
I will not mention that at the moment.
Right.
But I don't know. I feel like going and talking to Arcana seems like the least likely to like result in violence. Maybe we start there.
Yeah, see what he wants. He was the one
Yeah,
that invited us, right?
Yeah. Did he give us much context for what he wanted, or just summoned us?
He did not. I will say, like, you received the invitation at almost an eerily precise time, which is when Mouse sort of discovered that her mentor was having issues, and it felt like it wasn't an accident that you were reached out to. Like, it wasn't a coincidence. It
Yes,
wasn't like he knew that you saw what you saw.
Cass, how are you feeling about the arcana of it all?
I mean, it seems like at some point we're gonna have to go meet with them. It's just a problem that I'm not sure how to solve or what we can do.
I think that's fair, but I don't know, why not run into it head first and see what happens? And yeah, this is something where, if we walk into a fight, we'll definitely lose it. But at least there's not a guarantee that will happen, unlike the Brinstriana situation.
I don't think we're gonna get into a fight. Partly because of just what you said. Like, if we did, we'd lose it. So
Less the fight and more just like art, energy, being, magic, ethos, just like being withered away, taken. But like, that's not gonna happen, so let's go.
yeah, I mean, I feel like if he wanted to do us harm, he would have just done it already. I don't know.
So I'm not convinced that he hasn't done harm.
You're talking about your friend?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like things back on my island are going better since he arrived. But maybe that's why we need to go talk to him. I guess I'm a little worried about getting us into a fight that we in fact can't win.
I think no matter what happens, we shouldn't start a fight. Whether we like what he says or not. Like, I think we should plan to deal with that outside of the meeting.
How come I feel that's directed in my general direction? But I hear you.
So I mean, just like, I'm fascinated to see what the Source Institute is. So why not sightsee?
You know both A, where the Source Institute is, and B, where Brinstriana's shop is, and kind of the relation between those?
You have no way of knowing where Brinstriana's shop is unless you ask around. But the Source Institute is a beacon on the skyline, so it's pretty easy to find. I would also say finding Brinstriana's shop is just sort of like a vibe check here of like, where does an apothecary fit into an artificer city? That probably you expect that it'll stand out, maybe, but that it may be also just small, like a needle in a haystack situation.
I mean, I'm happy to be on the lookout for said needle in a haystack as we kind of just meander through town on other various activities. So it will be on a swivel.
It sounds like the immediate direction is towards the Source Institute.
Yep.
I will say, as we leave this place, I will just try and look and see if the people who were following us are just waiting outside or something.
Mm-hmm. Roll a perception check. I can. So just if you want to just coaching, because we made some Foundry changes, Mouse. If you want to refund that, and then if you cast it with your token selected, you should be able to target it on Drada and actually apply the buff so that it's more automated. With a 14 perception, you don't see Jade Mask has left notes for you before, and you don't see any sign of anything.
No obvious cart just sitting outside waiting for us, or anything like that.
Oh. I'll check in this. Let me just make sure. Oh yeah, sorry, this is broken. Let me switch one thing. And then refund it, and you should be able to do it again. Sorry. Okay, but you guys step out. No. All right, I'll figure it out. You guys work your way to the Source Institute, stepping outside and just sort of make a beeline for it. But Jacob, or Drada, we'll say, Jacob doesn't exist.
Whoa.
Are you sort of relying on your investigative skills to try to ask around for an apothecary, or are you just sort of trying to keep an eye out on signage?
I think in a city that is a semi-surveillance state, from what Drada can tell, Drada is very much in I don't want to draw attention mode, so I think is just head on a swivel looking around trying to see what catches eye and not striking out conversation.
I'll take guidance to try and help.
Maybe that will work if you are able to target. I've only done these things in my own tests, so I'm more also just going through the motions of making sure that it works for other people.
Yeah, I'm just not sure how to target somebody.
So it sort of is. So if you click on your token, there should be this HUD that opens up on the bottom of the screen. And then it should sort of work like Baldur's Gate 3, where you'll have an indicator that says how many people you can target. Okay. I'm just taking over. Okay. So that doesn't work. Let me try. I'm pretending to be you for a minute. I just want to problem solve this.
I was gonna say, what do you mean when you say a HUD at the bottom?
Same question.
Okay. So, okay, it might not be auto-opening for you guys, but when you click on your token, do you see this big sort of action window show up?
Okay. I see an R at the bottom.
Okay. I'll figure out how to do this later. For now, right-click on your token and click on the double sword symbol.
Okay.
I guess it maybe only auto-opens in combat.
Ooh.
Okay, actually, let me coach you guys to change a setting so that this always comes up. Just
Okay.
so hit the gears icon in the top right corner, and then go to what is it? Argon Combat HUD Core. And then scroll down, and there should be an always on button.
Wait,
I don't
hit the gears in the upper right, and then what?
And then, sorry,
Configure
configure settings.
Ah,
Yeah,
thank you.
and then Argon Combat HUD Core, and then always on. And then it should work whenever you click on your token.
Okay.
Might need to refresh. But
And then in
double
theory,
swords works. So.
yeah, in theory, if you cast something from that HUD, it should come up with a targeting reticle. I don't know why it wasn't happening in your character sheet, but it did work for me when I did it through the HUD. Do we mind just going through everybody casting or like attacking one of your neighbors or casting a let me set up like a target dummy.
I will gladly attack something.
Yeah, it's not the most exciting combat, but if you could just attack this guy in the corner of the map with anything through the HUD.
Target picker tutorial. All right. I'm too far away.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Just move closer.
Okay. So yeah, so things should work if you're using that menu. Apologies for the confusion. This poor guy is getting annihilated.
Incredible. We did combat. How exciting!
We did. Combat has happened. You
I hit
seem to
myself.
you seem to have attacked yourself. Yeah. All right. Let me refund those hit points for you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. We're gonna stop killing this guy. So you all, I think Drada, you had rolled something. I'm scrolling up with regards to.
Oh, I don't think I did.
Okay, could you please roll either perception or investigation, depending on your technique?
Happily.
Ooh, that's right. Guidance D4. So with a 23, you sort of like asking around, you sort of meet an average commoner who says, apothecary shop? I think I've heard of something like that. And he points in a direction that's like, he points in a direction, but you're not sure it's good enough to find from that. It'll just get you in the right neighborhood. And it's somewhat in the direction of the Source Academy, but kind of off a side street.
Incredible. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great day.
So with that, just remember, next time you roll to find it, you will have advantage. But you guys make your way to try to find the Source Institute. If you spent any resources on all those trial dice, please make sure to refund them. But as you get closer, it starts to come into view a little bit more clearly. What looked like just sort of a glowing gem on the top of the tower, you look and it actually seems to not be so much a gem as much as it is like a crystal, like an energy crystal of some kind that is floating off of the roof. It's not in this picture either, but you also see sort of like one of the windows that is sort of near the upper edge, upper rooms of this tower. There is like a giant observatory lens sort of peeking out that is sort of stationary at this time of day, but it seems to be used for gazing at the sky. As you start to approach the sort of, you see that this, it has like a couple of like balconies that sort of like wrap around the entire tower that have varying different like levels for gazing out into the city in all directions. But as you start to approach, the heat of the city starts to go away. And you're starting to feel a little bit cooler as some of the magic in the air is just sort of like soothing in a way. Except I'm going to require... Oh, I can do saving throws. Let's just give it a DC 15 saving throw. Really quickly. Eight. These 20s.
So many.
I haven't gotten one yet.
There's still time. Klax and Mouse, you are both going to take 2d6 lightning damage. Just 3, not that bad. From the tower, as you start to kind of look at it and sort of like be struck by its awe a little bit, a flash of lightning that feels it feels kind of random. Like you don't feel like you were targeted. You feel like this was like a static electricity that just sort of shot off the building and came towards your party. A couple of you dodge out of the way, and as you start to sort of like have the aftermath of that, you see there's just a little bit of like bad arcane energy in the air. Like something is magically wrong here, and you just happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time as you're approaching this. There's like a little bit of like a crackling sensation in the air, and you're like not Klax because you don't have arm hair, but like the rest of you, you have like your arm hair is starting to pick up like static electricity as you're getting closer.
My entire body just
something seems just a little off in the vicinity of this tower.
I'll look at Mouse and be like, does the arcane feel off here to you? Like the hair is standing on the back of my body. My whole body is just getting this weird feeling.
Yeah, something's definitely weird. My spells seem to work okay, though.
Well, that's good. That's good to know.
It's probably just because, they didn't leave very many trees around.
So true. I mean, there's no like green spaces here.
It's not very conducive to good magic.
Not at all.
Is anybody else, like, random people around us or whatever, perturbed by the fact that...
There's a couple people who are just like, ugh, and then they just, like, go on with their day. Like, it seems like, somebody, like a balloon popping expression across a few people's face.
A balloon popping that could have easily killed a commoner. Okay.
You guys go into the great double doors at the bottom of the tower, and this, the nature of the Source Institute, I think, like Aesop, you'd have heard at least a minimum amount of information about it, is that it is sort of like a wizard college. And Titlefall tends to be like magic of this spirit a little bit. It's like people who are born with magic, people who sort of like channel magic through creativity, and people who don't have magic at all and are just sort of like studying history or performance or whatever it is. Like the magic coaching at Titlefall is pretty minor by comparison. Here it is the intensive study of of intellectuals, and the sort of like representation of this school is that it is a giant 700-foot tall wizard tower, and you sort of know it by reputation that there are people who come here at all degrees of that, but generally it's not necessarily your commoner off the street who comes here. It's somebody who like can prove themselves a little bit. And as you guys walk in, you're first sort of greeted by this like large glowing brazier that is sort of like giving this soft glow, and you sort of instantly get the impression that it is what sort of is helping to adjust the temperature here in this tower. And you start by entering in this sort of like main hall, which it makes up like a 50-foot ceiling of the bottom of the tower, where there are a number of sort of like students hustling and bustling, getting from place to place. This seems to be like you sort of like quickly get your bearings, and it seems like this bottom floor is really for like check-in if you're visiting, or for sort of like if you're needing to sign up for classes, then there's sort of like is an administrative wing down here. But it seems like all of the things to do are sort of upstairs. But there's like sort of a number of people talking at a sort of front desk area, and a sort of like somebody up there sort of waves you down. I don't have I want to get a variety of tokens eventually, but I just got this one. And says,
He's not smiling this time.
I took care of that. This is actually a sort of like darker skinned woman who's wearing a robe and sort of looks at you all and says, are you looking to attend one of the lectures? What brings you to the Source Institute? Her hair is also standing up from static electricity right now.
Oh, strange. We got invited to discuss matters with Arcana.
Excuse me?
The left stars. Does that name ring a bell?
Not at all.
Oh, all right.
If you really want to talk to Arcana, you're probably going to need to find one of the professors. There are classes right now. You guys, just as she's sort of trying to look at you all, you hear like another pop from outside of electricity, and the sort of like people in the room seem just like a little frazzled. You see people like rushing to their classes a little bit, and you feel that like the people in here seem to be sort of like feeling the effects of what's ever happening outside as well. And she sort of like looks at you with like a little bit of hectic, like, I don't have time for this, eyes. And says, just, if you're not going to make any trouble, please feel free to walk around upstairs. I just, the left stars all, yeah.
Is something going on weird here today? Like, is that not normal?
Yeah, everyone has really interesting hair.
The last couple weeks speaking of Arcana, haven't seen him. He's been, I guess, maybe holed up in his sanctum. I'm not sure. The arcane battery is on the fritz. So
Is that the big thing up top?
That's no, but yeah, it's difficult right now. There's just, anything, you'll be, just let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to help.
Where's the elevator or stairs?
The center of the tower. She points to a sort of like two sets of doors that are on each side of her, that sort of have these archways, and she's like, "This stairs are back there. It's a lot of stairs."
Is his sanctum on?
Sorry, say again.
What floor is his sanctum on?
He's the professor. You'll find the professors on the 5th floor, I believe. We are currently on the 1st floor. So if you go up 4 flights, Arcana Sanctum, can't tell you.
Oh, and no one magicked a way to go up or down without stairs? 700 foot plus tower.
There definitely is. If you, she sort of points to her left and right, and you actually see that there are these 2 teleportation circles that are here in the main hall. One of them is red and one of them is blue, and you see that sort of like as she points in the direction, you actually see sort of like this blue robed tiefling, or sort of like brown and blue robed tiefling with blue skin that sort of pops into existence at one of these teleportation circles and sort of like dusts off his coat, having just arrived to the tower. And she sort of points at that one and says, that one is incoming, that one's outgoing. If you know somebody who, I mean, she sort of like looks at you and says, "Are you? If Arcana supposedly invited you, do you guys know how to do that?"
Oh, no, I just full transparency. We had a long journey, and a lot of stairs didn't sound super enjoyable. But if we have to climb a lot of stairs, we will absolutely climb a lot of stairs.
Roll a persuasion check for me.
Oh no.
Incredible.
You got it.
Oh, my screen flashed. I saw the roll though, and she looks at you and says, "You in particular, or somebody else? I've got a spell, but I don't."
Oh,
have any...
I'll try a spell.
All right, she casts levitate on you to make your life a little easier.
Incredible.
Functionally giving you like hovering for the next 10 minutes. As all of my stuff breaks.
Oh, no.
And she says, "Well, definitely just, let me know if you need anything."
Thank you. Have a great day. Hopefully you don't get shocked.
Thanks, I won't.
That was good. That was good, Aesop. I'm really proud of you.
Guess we're taking some stairs.
All right. You guys go up the second flight, and you find yourselves at a sort of like dining hall, where this is like one of the levels that has a balcony area, and there's like a set of tables that some students are have sat down and sort of started to enjoy like a pre-class breakfast or grab a bite before they're running to classes. And as you are sort of approaching this area, if I could have a perception check from everybody.
This is in like the dining hall area?
Yes. It relies on sight.
Damn it. Oof. Okay, work.
You guys like my fancy new glasses?
Yeah.
They look really good on you, Mouse.
I see they are contact lens.
As you sort of like try to get so this is just like a big spiral stairway that goes straight up from the middle of the tower. Like it is, the entire tower is built around it. And so there's only really one direction to go, up or down. But as you're sort of like stopping on this floor to take a look at it for a quick second, you start to see that everybody except for Clax, who I think just sort of keeps going up the stairs, starts to see a set of like all the tables start to vibrate. And some of the students sort of like back off and sort of stand up on the tables before they start to stand on two legs. And I'm going to request that folks roll initiative.
Oh no, not moving tables.
As these tables start to come to life, go ahead and position. I'm going to position Clax at the furthest away point, which would be the furthest up the stairs, but the rest of you would just sort of be in this general vicinity as you start to notice this. So feel free to position your tokens ever so slightly differently before the combat starts.
Do we have the initiative table like we had before, or do we just roll?
Like
we had the little share cell?
Oh, you're not seeing that? Okay,
no.
on the left side of your screen, on the left sidebar, there is, I think, a button for that. All of the settings get reset. Okay. Disregard the left sidebar. Go back to game settings. If you want this to always appear, go back to game settings and go to configure controls, and then it is carousel combat tracker.
There it is.
And you'll want to set that to, there's somewhere that says like always on or something.
Mm,
I just show previous turn and next turn hotkey.
Yep. That's all I have.
Has everybody rolled initiative?
Not me. I have not, but
I
can.
have.
I'm gonna roll for you for the sake of time.
Okay.
But we'll figure this out.
All good.
Except it's not letting me roll for you.
That's
I'm gonna
fine.
take you out of combat and take you back in.
Oh, there it is.
There you go.
Now. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm gonna quickly use the restroom before this gets started.
Sure. We can actually go ahead and take a 5-minute break if we want to. It is
Sounds
around
good.
break time.
That works.
Sweet.
All right. Be right back. Alrighty, so as you start to sort of look and see, you guys are not, Clax, you are technically surprised, so you're not going to get to act this turn. But as the rest of these tables start to rear up, you see that one of them just charges right towards Flint, and it sort of like is standing up on two legs, but is just like ramming into you with its full body. That is its turn. It just has an attack. This one is going to come closing on you as well. And slams you for 16 damage. Clacks. Oh, wait, one more. This one has to go around. Probably. Okay, it's going to come around here to Drata.
Who did that one hit?
The table hit you, I think. Yeah. No.
I don't think it should have because it.
No, yeah, it didn't. Sorry. I don't know what I was talking about. Yeah, for some reason it didn't roll damage on. It seems okay. We're good. But now, Drata, you get hit by this table, and Clax, your turn is skipped. But Drata, your turn begins.
Okay, incredible. First things first, would love to just do a quick perception check as to what the vibe of the students is right now.
Sure. Give me a perception check or insight check.
Insight, yeah.
Okay, with a 23, I would actually point out that there is, you sort of like looking past this table that just attacked you, around this corner down here, you actually see, like while everybody else is sort of freaked out, there's like one little like pipsqueak of a teenager kid who is chuckling.
Incredible.
It's this little Dragonborn token, if you can see them.
Can you highlight again? Sorry.
I don't know if you can see them, but there's like a Dragonborn guy around this
yeah. Got you. Okay, incredible. Seeing this little kid laughing, would love to bonus action disengage and just stride up over to this snide little motherfucker, raise my crossbow at him and go, "What's happening? Please educate me." Okay.
You should be able to move away without issue. This kid, I'm going to not take attacks of opportunity on you, even though I'm allowed to. The kid sorts of looks at you and just says, "Just having some fun." You see he's holding a rod in his hand that is faintly glowing with a little bit of orange energy.
Incredible. I would like to, if possible, if it's an attack action, just bat this rod out of this child's hands.
Sure. Give me a. I want to bring you up to this guy. You should, under your action use feature, there's on the menu there should be a shove action.
Yep. I'm clicking it and it's not doing it.
Okay.
Oh, is it doing anything? Oh, it did a thing. Okay, sorry.
You're good. Oh, did it not do more than that? Okay.
Okay.
Like some things I've gotten automated, some things apparently I've not. What I'll say is, do you want to roll acrobatics or athletics? Like, what are you trying to like push it out of his hand, or?
It is trying to like feint him out as if this kid, and then arc up with a hand unexpectedly as I'm walking by him to try to slap it out of his hand. So if I can make it acrobatics, I would like.
Okay, he just rolled a 20 acrobatics, so if you can try to beat that. Yep, not so good. He sort of pulls it away and says, listen, it's all just fun and games. As one of your attacks.
Incredible. Then I would
I'm going to add him to the initiative. You're going to fucking... oh, that was my natural 20. Okay, sorry. I thought you just stabbed him for a natural 20.
No. I'm not stabbing a child right now. How small is this child?
Like it's more of a teenager, like post puberty teenager.
Oh, so like my age.
Yeah, a little younger.
Okay, cool. Then I think, if possible, I would then like. This is probably the second action or the second attack to, like, try to make another attempt to not bat it out of his hand, but grab it and like, whatever movement I have left, like run up this arch or run just like out of the way. Like, okay, we're just playing. Like, just
you can not to do too rulesy, but you've already tried one grapple check per turn.
Okay, cool.
So one of
and
your
fine. Then with the second of my attack, I'll just shoot a table.
Okay,
that's a normal thing to do. And
you do have three. You have 4 attacks this turn, don't you? No, because you disengaged. So you have 3.
Yeah. So I will shoot 3 crossbow bolts at this table here.
Well, 2. You have 2 attacks left. One disengage, 1 grab attempt, and then 2 more.
True.
Yep.
Okay. I'm learning how Dread Ambusher works right now. That's fun.
Yeah, it should be automatic. If you attack something that hasn't moved yet, you should automatically get advantage on the roll as well.
Okay. Would it count as sneak attack if it's a table?
No, because
but it's next to people.
Yeah, but it's next to Klax, who's on the other side of a wall. So technically, no.
That's fair.
If you want to attack one of the ones that Flint's next to.
If I attack one of the ones that Flint's next to? Oh.
Yeah, because Flint is adjacent to those.
Great. Okay, then I'll do that for a second shot. What a really great use of a turn.
You discovered that there's a kid behind all this, for what that's worth.
Yeah, great.
You've wounded the table.
Incredible.
Wounded is a status condition now that they're half health or lower. So you'll see there's like a little blood icon next to this guy. That means he is at half health or lower. You can also mouse over to see their health. At least I think so.
You sure can. Incredible. And I don't know if I used Dread Ambusher correctly, but
it did apply the. No, it didn't.
Incredible.
I'll fix that later. Just roll a d8. Okay. It took 6 more damage.
Incredible. And in the meantime, I'm just glaring at this child shooting a table.
Okay. We're relearning how to use Foundry, so I hope I'll try to make some notes on what needs to be fixed. But I assume that's the end of your turn?
Yes.
Okay. This table is going to come up and smack Aesop. You have the trigger for silvery barbs. There's a lot of these like reaction things that you guys might see auto popping up on your screen. Jesus. The table rolled high. This next table also going to come up on Aesop. It is flanking, but still manages to miss. And now it is Mouse's turn.
Cool. First, I'm going to enter my starry form with the archer.
And you have a new ability that you got at level 10 where you can change that at the beginning of every turn. And so it's quite nice. Archer,
which I believe I can then use.
Yes, it should be under use feature, under bonus action. There should be a luminous arrow. And there are several things that'll appear in those use features menus for you. Like if you're trying to move a moonbeam, it'll be in there.
Yeah, sorry. I have 3 use features and I couldn't.
Oh yeah, so yeah, it takes from left to right. It's action, bonus action, and then just sort of general.
Am I able to see the injured one?
Not at this second, no. If you can see it on your screen, then you can see it. But
I would have started that, but that's okay. Also, I can't go back to the chat because the timer's in the way.
you should be able to drag that away.
I also can't pull up my character sheet and access the bottom at the same time.
Okay.
With the timer, there's like a thin bar on the very top of it that you can click and drag.
Thank you. And then I'm going to guiding bolt the same table.
Okay.
I get some of for free, but I don't know where that feature is.
Yeah, there's sort of like guiding bolt under level 1, and then there's a separate guiding bolt that should be the other ones. But you light this table up, and the next attack against it will have advantage. Are you staying put?
Can I go back down 3 sets of stairs?
Sure. I'll just make you invisible as if you're downstairs right now. All right. Flint.
Oh, how big of a commotion do I want to make?
This is entirely stone, so nothing's going to catch on fire.
Are the tables stone?
No, the tables are wood, but the hardware or the building is stone.
You thinking about Thunderwave over there?
Well, I was debating Thunderwave and trying to figure out if there was some way I could catch all 3 of these ones close to me in it. But I think I will use my action to create an Eldritch Cannon. Let's see here. Create Eldritch Cannon. Use ability. Flamethrower. Tiny.
And you just place it next to yourself.
Yeah. Oop, did that work? Yeah. And then
And your ability for the flamethrower should be under, like you have to click into the token, and then it'll be under use special.
special. Haha. And we will bonus action use right, mouse wheel. Alright, it's gotta hook to one of the corners. Let's try that. Looks like it'll hit 2 of them.
For some reason it didn't target them. I'm going to make saves for them. They both fail for 20 damage. This top one is definitely just destroyed. That was way louder than I expected. And this bottom one takes significant damage. It doesn't seem to be vulnerable to the damage, but it does take it nonetheless.
Yeah. 20 is a high roll for 3d8. But I think that's my turn.
Alrighty. Aesop.
Do I see this kid that Drada was talking to?
You saw Drada run off in that direction, but I don't think you have line of sight on the kid.
Dang it. Can I... if I move, I'm going to get hit. At least I assume, because they're animated. This is not good. What is... If I cast something as a bonus action, there's like a certain level of spell I can do.
You can only do one leveled spell per turn, so you can like bonus action and then a cantrip.
Is this considered a... Oh, it is. Okay. I am going to because it's not in here. Okay, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna use Misty Step, so I'm gonna put it in chat. Spell.
You should be able to
30.
click where you want to go.
Yeah, I gotta measure out. Just to the opposite end. To like right here. Crap.
You have to. It does. Misty Step is within line of sight, I think.
Oh, is this like a pillar staircase that's blocking me?
It's a central stair. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I did not know that. I'll just go here. Whee! Okay.
You definitely still don't see the kid from there. You see Drada, sort of like here, but you don't see the kid.
Hi. At least I'm out of the way from the tables. Oh, crap. My movement speed is 30. So 5, 10, 15. I guess I'll use a cantrip on the table that's really hurt in front of me. The one, the darker brown that's wounded.
Okay.
I can't see the kid.
Just so you know, when you're moving in the bottom left corner next to your portrait, there's like these blue cubes, and that's how many spaces you can move per turn. It'll turn gray as you're moving.
Perfect. Good to know. Let me cast it, please. Why aren't you casting? Oh, because I have to choose a target. Oh, lordy. There we go. 13 damage. And he makes a save. Damn.
Yeah. Save resilient table. Is that your turn?
Yes.
Okay. I'm removing that guy from initiative. Okay. This table is going to come in and slam the Eldritch Cannon.
What?
And misses. What is that thing's AC?
Apparently
18?
it's 18.
Jesus. All right.
You said you were going to attack it. I'm like, I have no idea what this thing's AC is.
This table, let's just say 1, 2 is Aesop, 3, 4 is Drada. Right, 3, 4. Sort of like, I'm gonna give it disadvantage because it's trying to squeeze through this grate to swing at you. I forgot to do it with disadvantage, so we're gonna re-roll that. I'm just gonna roll another d20, and I'm gonna heal you. What is your armor class? Your armor class is above that. So, but no, it has a +6. So your armor class is not above that.
I'm also noticing. I don't think Uncanny Dodge, or not. Is it Uncanny Dodge? The rogue 5th level ability.
That's for Dex throws, not just average attacks. Or am I wrong?
Uncanny Dodge is
when,
one where you use reaction to do half damage.
Okay.
That is not on my character sheet, but I would like to do that.
Okay, so you'll take a quarter of. So it crit on you. It would have done half of that already. So you would take 4 damage at the end of it. So let me give you 12 hit points back. I will make a note to give you Uncanny Dodge.
Thank you.
This table, it doesn't really have that many places to go. It's pretty crowded. So this table is going to squeeze in to this space, come after Aesop.
Who? Yeah, I'll separate Barb's it. Configure how you'd like to use the Silvery Barb spell.
I get to choose somebody to give advantage to.
Yes, I did. All right, I gave it to.
Alrighty. My screen flashed again, and maybe everything broke.
We're at the Wizard Bully's turn.
Yes. Yeah, there's this particular bug. I don't know if it's because I'm like recording the game, if it's causing like all of the screens to reset. I was having it a long time ago, but I wasn't expecting to have it so much today. So the wizard bully just sort of looks at Drada and says, "You guys are doing just fine. No problem at all." And is going to thunder wave you.
Oh.
As an effort to try to push away from you. Shoves you off and then starts to run around, cackling as he darts in the other direction.
I see this.
Yeah, you see this person coming from around the corner, and you just heard a loud bang in the direction of Drada as Drada gets thrown back. This table still on Flint. Not rolling that high. This table's on Flint. 21. Your AC is ginormous.
22.
This table doesn't. I'm gonna say that this is difficult terrain and that it can squeeze through. And it's gonna go for a
What?
natural one.
Great.
Clax. Over the last 6 seconds, there's been drama downstairs, and as you sort of like peek back into the position that you're in, you realize what's happening.
And I'm kind of upset that I didn't notice it to begin with. I might need. Oh, there we go. There's coming downstairs. All right, so that's 10. I'm just going run right into here. First attack on this one. Like target. There we go. I don't know why 2.
Oh, yeah, I gave you advantage. That's why.
Oh, sorry, I missed that. Yep.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Saw you were coming up next, so I just gave it to you.
Damage was kind of garbage.
You do have, you don't use it very often, but you do have like your Dragon's Breath and stuff as well, just FYI, which is under use feature.
It is. All right, so yep, sorry. Use feature. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, there it is. Popped up. Actually, I'm struggling to find it. Oh, there's a couple use features. All right. Shield.
Yeah, the leftmost use feature is for actions, and Breath Weapon Fire is one of your
okay.
Your attack actions. We're getting used to it again.
Yep. Usability. All right, and oh god, now I have to remember how to spin this damn thing.
You should just mouse wheel should do what you need.
Thank you. I don't know why it won't plop on me.
You do it from from the edge of you, not centered on you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from like a corner.
Okay.
Yeah, you can hold shift to make those sorts of minor adjustments. All right, why are these guys not being auto-targeted by templates? We're gonna have to do some troubleshooting when I get a chance. Both of them fail and will each take 8 fire damage.
Yep. So hold on. Again, sorry, it's been a hot minute. I took the attack action, used a breath weapon, but in the attack action, yeah, that's it, right? Because
one of your attacks can be a breath weapon. Yeah.
So that's it.
Okay. You still have a bonus action, I believe.
I don't think I have a ton. Yeah, go ahead. Because I don't think other than my maneuvers, and I'm good right now.
Okay. Drada.
Okay, first I'm going to point at the child who was my age and go, "It's this kid. It's a bit. It's not a funny bit." And then it probably won't work, but if it does, it'd be cool. Holster my crossbow and take out the sword, point it at this child, and attempt to cast Dominate Person.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
Oh, okay. I was gonna cast Message on him, try to persuade him, but this works too.
I give me a moment as I struggle with technology. Like an old
good.
person.
That's probably not the button you meant to.
What did I hit?
You steady aim.
Nope, that's not what I meant. I didn't mean to hit that. So sorry.
All good. I'm taking these things off you.
Target. Hit target a token and then try to roll. Please let me do this.
So I don't know where you're at in the process, but I'm just making sure you click cast spell under action, and then click dominate
Oh
person.
no! So I'm dumb is the answer.
Oh.
Oh, is it use item? If I hit cast spell,
it should be no in your
Got it. Never
yeah,
mind.
okay.
Which is great. Ronnie, how does one just move the screen so I can?
Hold right click.
Thank you. I've been clicking and dragging like a fool. Did it. Sorry.
Yeah. He does save out of it, but looks at you and just I think you get the sense that he's like, oh shit. As he realizes
I just
that,
mouth back. Yep, good. And then would like to rush off and bonus action hide in some these here bushes.
Okay. It's going to get an attack of opportunity on you. As you leave its space. Okay, go ahead and roll a hide if you're trying to have people not see you at the start of your next turn. I'm going to make some attacks while you do that. This table is going to come slam Clax. Totally misses, and now it's Mouse's turn.
Okay, so the kid's downstairs, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep
no.
going.
Oh, sorry. No, the kid is on the balcony on the same level as Drada. So you are currently downstairs. If you go upstairs, you might see the kid.
Okay. Then I think I want to go upstairs.
Yeah. You pop your head back to the main fight.
Do I see the kid?
From where you're standing, no.
Okay, well my whole screen's black, so I don't know where to.
I would refresh and maybe that'll help. But basically, that you're pretty jammed up by a bunch of tables in front of you is the issue.
Okay, so what I was trying to do, now it's making me log back in, is what I was trying to do was if I could see the kid, I was going to cast Entangle and just, like, lock him down. But if it makes more sense for me to just attack tables, I would Gift of Alacrity, or not Gift of Alacrity, use my bonus action with my Archer, and then probably... I mean, Cone of Cold if I can line it up correctly and get several of them, but if not, I'll just Guiding Bolt again.
Okay. For some reason, you lost your Starry Form, so I'm giving it back to you. I don't think you could easily line up a Cone of Cold in this situation.
Not without hitting a bunch of odds.
Yeah, there's also various bystanders for what it's worth. We're going to attack this table in front of you. And it does hit, and then Guiding Bolts. One of your free Guiding Bolts against this one. And unfortunately, the Guiding Bolt does miss. Sorry for the technology issues, though. I think that is your bonus action and action. You'll just be sitting there behind Clax at the top of the stairs, functionally. Flint.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go ahead and move well, I might not need to. I'm gonna try and cast Thunder Wave. I'm just not dead certain what the box is going to look like. Yeah, there's not a good way for me to try and get 3 of these, I don't think.
You can hold shift to make like half adjustments if you really want to.
Oh, weird. You can make Thunderwave weird shapes. I would not have expected that. Wait,
I would maybe keep it to the default template. I don't know if you're supposed to be able to change its shape.
Okay. In that case, I will just Thunderwave these 2 in front of me.
Okay.
Or I guess I could Shatter. Where's Shatter? How big is Shatter? Alright. I'm going to move out of the way so I don't hit myself. Which will probably give me an attack of opportunity.
Yes.
Oh, is this our... Okay, I don't know if that was burning spell slots on those things. It was. Alright, I'll figure those out in a second, but I'm going to cast Shatter on these 3 down here. Wait, previous roll has not completed.
It's because you gave up the Thunder Wave, so just hit discard.
Oh.
You'll want to refund that at some point as well.
Yeah, I'll deal with that. But I think I can hit those 3 tables.
Jesus.
I think it hit 3 of them, or should have. But
it definitely hit one of them, so I will... Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out the targeting. This one... Is this Constitution? It's technically with disadvantage. It already failed, so I'm not going to reroll that. The other one is the one by Aesop? Or...
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. That one would also fail. So each of these will take 21 damage. This one that's immediately next to you goes down. This table that has the skull on it for some reason is down. And then the one by Aesop is very low.
And then I will bonus action move my little turret thing over to here and try and hit these 2 tables. Use ability. Try to not hit clacks. Much less damage this time. But
All right, and this other one is going to take that damage as well. All right, I assume that is your turn.
that's it.
All right, Aesop. You're muted, sorry.
I will also use Shatter.
Okay. The
Damn.
the entire school is just thundering with this energy that's coming from many sources.
I'm like so close to getting all 3, but I can't. Oh wait, you said shift.
If you hold shift, you might be able to.
That is so weird how it does it. Do I follow the purple pattern or the circular part of it? Because it's a 10-foot range.
I don't know what you're referring to.
Crap. Okay, I am gonna hit all 3. So I'm assuming that I'm just following like the range of the spell itself.
Okay.
I was able to hit all 3 in that without getting the bystanders.
Okay. these tables are not rolling high on their cons. So this one is definitely gone. This one, I think, took the damage already, the middle one.
Yes.
And then this one is going to take 13 as well, or 16 as well. All right.
And I'm gonna brace myself because I'm about to get hit with the table.
All right. First, this table, we'll say 1, 2 flinch, 3, 4 clacks. This table's going for clacks. And misses. This table, Draw, did you ended up rolling hide? All right. This table.
Oh, I rolled a 24.
Okay. This table, there's no way it could succeed. So let's see if it can go around with enough movement. It can. And it fails. The table next to it going in for a swing. And does hit. Ouch.
Ouch.
Top of the initiative, the kid sort of like looks for Drada. It's just going to roll a perception check. But there's really no way it could even find you. And just says, well, it's been fun. And doesn't have any real escape mechanisms, so it's going to try to dash on out of here. You could take an attack opportunity if you would like.
Oh God. I guess I don't know if Aesop would understand what's really going on, so I think he would just let the kid pass.
All right, this kid sort of like runs into Mouse. It's all the movement he had with a dash, but runs into Mouse and is like, "Excuse me," and that's his turn.
All right. I'm going to try and hack the table in front of me. Excuse me. All right.
Table is getting pretty low.
Oh, I still got a hit point left. Are you kidding me?
2 hit
Try and
points.
attack. Oh, sorry. I'll attack the. Let's see, draw this.
If you I did enable cleave mechanics, so if you overkill it, you can take that attack into the next attack.
You did say that. I forgot about that. Ooh. Ooh. Well, school bully's a potential cleave target. Is he within range?
Yes, he is right next to you.
Yeah, but I wouldn't know what's going on. So, animated table. I don't know if it put it through or not.
Yeah, sorry, my screen flashed, so I don't know if it's holding things up. Like after like a month of getting things reinstalled and prepping, I had 0 bugs. So I think
All good.
definitely streaming seems to cause some problem, which I'll fix later.
Okay. All right. And then.
So go ahead and just make a. Did the cleave not go through?
I don't think it did.
Okay, just roll me a d20, and I'll just carry over I'll carry over 11 damage if you beat its armor, because I dropped it, fucked up. Okay, yeah. So 11 damage goes through. This last table is barely hanging on.
Okay. And that's it. I feel I'm missing an attack somewhere in there, but.
I think you only have 2 attacks right now, and at next level you might get 3.
All right. I'll
Could be
do
wrong.
research. But all right, next.
Okay. Did this child run down the stairs?
You saw the child run towards the stairs. They're currently out of sight, but you wouldn't see it, but you heard them kind of like say "excuse me" to Mouse.
Incredible. I think I would then. Okay. I think I. Oh. Great. Can see them from that vantage point and would love to cast Entangle on them.
Sure. You're most certainly going to hit your allies, but that's probably fine.
I'm trying to...
You can't not hit an ally.
Well, that's so true.
You can hit me because I'm blocking the doorway anyway. Also, if he
Incredible.
failed, my plan was also entangle. So
Incredible. Yeah, we can do... I think that's... Is the template showing up on other people's
Yeah,
screens?
only
Is
until
that-
you have to click for it to for anything to happen. All right. Mouse does resist, but he is entangled here at the door. Any bonus actions?
I would take a bonus action shot on a table toward that's close to Aesop.
Okay. Oh,
I mean, to
for
attack
some-
mouse. So sad.
for some reason. If I don't know,
Okay.
so mouse mouse over mouse and hit T, and it should untarget her.
Incredible.
Just roll. You don't click the crossbow extra attack. Just roll the
Oh, just hit the
just roll an
crossbow hand.
attack. Yeah.
A juicy table.
Mhm.
All right, mouse. You are in difficult terrain, but at the top of your turn, you are not restrained, and this kid is sort of like tied up, and says, I will stop."
I mean, clearly you'll stop because you're stuck.
Good point.
Are you gonna drop the table?
I can't move right now.
I'm pretty sure you could stop concentrating at any point.
He looks at the rod in his hand.
Okay, can I try and take the rod?
Yeah.
Cool.
Give me a athletics or acrobatics check. He will roll with disadvantage.
Is there anything I can do to help myself? I don't think so.
No.
I think in this instance, like it is.
I should have
You
myself.
you can't tell if he's resisting or if he's just like being helped because it's locked into his hand right now with the vines.
Oh, that's fair. I don't know. I'll bonus action shoot the table. Maybe I won't, because when I logged back in, I no longer had a bar at the bottom, and I don't know how to get to it.
Okay. Can I? Do you want me to shoot it for you?
Go for it.
Okay. Some of these sound effects are a lot louder than I expected. This table is decimated. If the sound meant anything. I think that's all you can do. Flint.
Does this? You said this is a rod that this kid's holding?
Yes.
Does it appear to be made of metal?
No, this is actually a wood rod.
Well, seeing him restrained then, I'm going to... Let's see here. What's the movement speed on this little guy? Oh, it's 30 feet. I'm going to move... Move with arrow keys? Yeah. 10, 15, 20... Cool. Just close enough. and use flamethrower on these things. Do 8 damage.
Alrighty. Oops, wrong button. Would you guys prefer the old menu, the one that you had last time? Or, you know, 'cause this one's just being buggy right now, but if you're just used to the other one, I'm happy to switch back.
I like this one. It is a little weird to like get it to pull back up sometimes. Like when I reloaded the page, I had to go back to the settings and like tell it to turn back on and save it and click around a little bit. But like once it's there, I actually find it really useful.
Okay, we'll see if we can troubleshoot it anyway. But these 2 tables do take fire damage.
All right. And seeing as the rod is wood and he doesn't appear to be able to move anywhere, I'll just go ahead and cast Firebolt on this closest table. Oh, I just need a target. I see.
Alrighty. Table is in a very bad way. Face up.
I'll cast Shatter again. We'll just cause a loud big boom. I'll do it away from me. Doesn't hit anybody else.
Something just happened.
Oh.
Interesting.
The entangle went away for some reason.
Oh, yeah, that was... you killed the one table, the other table didn't even roll, but it doesn't have enough hit points to survive, so we are going to end combat with this kid still technically entangled here on the stairs, even though I accidentally deleted the effect.
Plax, would you take that rod from that kid?
What? What kid?
You turn around and there's this like silver dragonborn child that is just in vines.
I'll walk over, pry it out of his hands, just kind of give that condescending look down, like, "What are you doing, kid?"
Just, you know, I don't have a portrait. We're gonna go back to, no, we're not gonna bother with portrait. The kid just sort of looks at you and is like, just having a little fun. This whole tower is chaos these days, anyway.
Yeah,
So-
and we don't need you adding to it.
Adam
You'll
walks
get-
up very closely to this child and gets in his face, takes the sword out if he's going to cast Dominate Person again, and just quietly whispers, "You're gonna pull shit. You gotta have an escape plan, my guy. Like, step 1, figure out how to get out."
Running from upstairs, you see the blue tiefling individual who had teleported in earlier runs down and just sort of pops out and says, "I've been back for 2 minutes and chaos. What the hell is happening down here?"
Give this kid some detention or something.
Of course. He sort of looks at it, gives this kid an annoying glance, like he knows exactly what this kid's deal is, and he sort of says, "You are on mending duty for 3 weeks. I want everything fixed. I will not take no for an answer." And the kid just sort of like pouts and sort of like still in the vines seems to be submitting themselves to this guy. And says, yes, I will. Yes, I understand. Just, can I go now? Looks at Drada, who's holding the spell.
Can you go? Will you go? If you're a student, at least use proper grammar. Fully aware that it's not proper grammar and will release release the entangle.
He just sort of like drops to the floor and then starts to run up, like tries to push past anybody who's in there and run back upstairs. This person says, apologies, you guys seem a little beaten up by that. My name is Azure Vale. Is everybody okay?
I'm a little beat up and bruised. Almost at the halfway mark of my HP with my new armor. Just... You guys have some really sturdy tables. I do have to say that.
Yeah, whoever constructed them did a really nice job, says Drada, clenching his side under half health.
Well, I look forward to seeing them repaired by our friend. Sorry. What can I help you with? I'm afraid I don't stock any kind of healing magic. If you need a quiet place to sit, I'm sure we can provide. You see, like, his hair is starting to like raise up on end as well in the space. It seems like the electric bolts are only really happening outside, but the sort of static electricity is still happening in here. All of the sort of patrons of this dining hall are just sort of like brushing themselves off of any kind of like splinters and debris, and are starting to like pick up the pieces in order to like shove them off into a pile to be repaired later.
So what's going on around here?
So the head archmage, Arcana, has been missing for a little while, has asked not to be bothered, and unfortunately the arcane battery is on the fritz, and that's just a very poorly timed thing. We seem to have, our administrative staff, some of them seem to have quit over some of the problems because of related issues, and so we're just like trying to get so I'm sorry, I am a professor here, and this is not normally like this. This is normally we're a little bit more put together, but without Arcana's leadership at this moment, things have been just a little more trepidatious. The arcane battery in particular is something that we all relied on for the school to function the way it should, and it seems to be not working.
Have you guys gone and found Arcana? Talked to him? Let him know about this?
My sendings have gone unanswered. They send. He just chooses not to reply.
Well,
Where
he's
is he?
coming up for a meeting, so maybe we can wake him up.
You see, he said he didn't want to be bothered, though.
Well, we've come a long ways at his request, so we're gonna bother him.
So what happens if somebody doesn't follow that command? You guys seem pretty deathly afraid of him.
No, I mean, I am not. He's not a bad person. I just, when your boss says, "Don't do this," and you do it, you just sort of like.
That sounds like a toxic work environment to me, but
Yeah.
Listen, I would at least like to get this place in order a little bit more. Like, I
Is
just
this
want
battery
to-
something that you need somebody to take a look at? Like,
do you know anything about such things?
know a little bit about a lot of things.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh.
He sort of looks and says, listen, I can give you a peek, but I can't let you go messing with it unless well, just come down and take a look. And it's a pretty expensive piece of equipment. He's sort of saying this as he leads you downstairs. He says, pretty expensive piece of equipment. It fuels functionally all of the spellcraft that is done here. Students will borrow from it in order to sort of complete their assignments and practice their training. And those of us who have excess power at the end of the day will sometimes donate what remains to help with assignments and teachings in later days. But right now it just seems to be only taking and not giving. And there's just something going on. And he walks you back towards down the main hall. You walk there. When you had walked up the stairs initially, there was one door that seemed to lead to an administrative wing, and then another door that he sort of like knock over my microphone. He waves his hands over and casts a knock spell on it. You hear this sort of like loud bang as the doors start to like unravel and open, and in here you see a sort of like this floor. For the most part, you've just seen like 50-foot tall sort of columns and a bunch of open air and high ceilings. But in this room, you see this like 50-foot tall, almost like it's not a sapphire, but it's a big, similar to the light that you've seen on the top of the tower. Seems to be like a large blue crystal of some kind that is connected to this big mechanical sort of machine, almost like an old computer, like the first computers that took up entire rooms. It's sort of hooked up to something like that. There seems to be a smaller crystal that he sort of explains to be the where somebody will donate their magic from, that is sort of connected through these large pipes and tubes. But he sort of shows this and says, things in here are a little bit dangerous, so don't touch anything unless you have ideas.
All right.
And in here, you feel the static electricity being kind of at its height, and you get the sense that like everything is a little bit hot here, like electrified.
Can I just sort of look things over and try and just figure out at least roughly how this works?
Sure. Give me Arcana.
Can we get the professor's name that brought us down here?
Azure Veil.
Is this the sort of thing... How does these eyes of minute seeing work? While wearing them, you can see better. You have advantage on intelligence, investigation checks that rely on sight while searching an area or studying an object within a
If you want to roll investigation, it's your... Yeah. Go and roll investigation first, just to look at the machinery.
Okay.
So.
I did cast guidance as you were walking down this way.
Okay, well, you don't need advantage, nor did you necessarily need guidance, but so just you may still, if you want to dig deeper in any of this, you would still need to roll an Arcana check, but in looking at it, you observe that the nature of this machine is that it is, there's all sorts of pipes that are running through walls in this building, and it seems that those pipes will connect to different arcane batteries so that people can draw power from it in more convenient locations. They don't have to run all the way downstairs to do it. And you see that a lot of those sort of pathways seem to be like choked up by other sort of glyphs that seem to have been activated from within the machine. Like you see, like it's almost like somebody turned a valve to stop this magic from going through, but they activated like pretty powerful glyphs from within to do so. But at the same time, it's still like in the static electricity sense, it seems like this is a consequence. It wasn't, maybe not intentional, but that it had been triggered by some kind of like anomaly, some kind of something shocked the system, and now it's like on the fritz, and that's why these glyphs have turned on.
Who has access to like mess with this thing?
Generally, something of this importance is something we leave to the head professor. And it being unreachable at the moment, we've just been we're kind of hoping it would fix itself, but it has not.
Is there a reason he would have changed this? Like, this seems like it's like
he commonly borrows from this himself to engage in various high-level magics, but never to the degree that affected the rest of the administering of this place.
You have no idea what he's been up to since he requested to not be disturbed.
Important business, I believe.
Important business. I just worry a little bit that maybe he did this on purpose to like give him some extra, magic, and if we try to fix it, it'll ruin whatever he's currently doing. But perhaps something went awry and he needs this to stop to bring him back. Like, it seems weird that he's missing.
I think no matter what, you might have to break orders and have us go up to wherever his private sanctum is to figure this out. I think that's step number 1, Professor Azurvale.
As I sort of said, I just got back. There's one, I would love, there's just a few things that need to get done before I feel comfortable potentially revealing the state of this place to him, should he come back. There's this whole issue with the arcane battery right here. And then also, as soon as I had arrived, somebody told me that the monster stables hadn't been checked in some time, and that some of the doors may have been left unlocked. So, yes, I need some time to perhaps get this place back in order. And you get the sense, reading his face, you don't have to read it very hard. He's like not sure he can get it in order by himself. I would like to at least show that we've made some progress in getting things fixed. So,
monster stables?
Yes, there's a variety of beasts that we have tamed for various reagents that they provide towards potion making and whatnot.
So if they're tamed, there's no issue.
Well, they were tamed through the upkeep of certain spells that have presumably expired.
You see.
And
I
so
see where the
are
issue
stables?
lies.
Are they in this building? Are they
Yes, the stables are
outside?
at the top. The stables are at the top of the tower. It's near the peak. It's pretty cramped up there. You all seem to handle yourselves pretty well. If you could take a look, maybe take a quick rest first.
Couple of questions. Do you prefer that we handle the monster stables or try to fix this battery first? And I'll start there.
As you say with the battery, I begin to question whether we should touch it as well. I am the truth is I just need some help with one or the other. And if the if our student body has told you anything so far, I don't know if I trust them to help. The other professors seem to be MIA as well.
And if we go to attend to the monsters, generally our approach to monsters results in them dying. Is that going to be a problem, seeing as these are monsters you seem to want to keep?
If you could close the door on them and to contain them, that would be fine. I don't know what doors have been opened. If you have to, then everything will be fine, yes. Or if you can tame them yourselves and close the door behind them, I don't know.
Is closing the doors like a straightforward, like it's just a door with a lock, or is this like a
pending?
Can you sketch out a diagram?
Pending any issues with the arcane lock re-engaging because of the magic on the Fritz, it should be pretty simple.
All right. You guys want to go deal with some monsters? Close the door.
I'm ready to fight some more.
You guys
like
look
nap
pretty beat
for
up
an
if
hour
you
first?
need, yes, some refreshments perhaps.
Oh, and who's beat up? Look around the group.
Oh, I'm fine.
Are we surprised?
Nope.
Nothing's changed, and I think that's great.
You may all take a short rest if you would like.
Yes, please. Oh my goodness. Use Misty Step to get out of there, and I just find myself. Do I remember where short rest is? So I'm just gonna go here.
Oh, I realized I couldn't. It's fine. All is good.
Oh yeah, where is short rest?
If you hit.
Oh, there it is. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
I have the I now have a button where I can prompt a short rest if you can't find it.
And I'm with Leaguer on that new bar. Just takes a little bit getting used to, but once you start figuring out what things are, I do kind of like it.
Yeah.
You don't have to click the perioptic wound closure. It's automatic. FYI.
Oh, oops! I didn't realize.
Oh, cool. I'd also love to use the blood blessing feature of the blade in advance.
Okay. That should be under one of your special features, I think.
We love a blood blessing.
Mm-hmm.
As an FYI, looking at this screen of the overall map, there are white boxes on the map. I don't know if they're supposed to be there.
Which screen?
The one we're on now.
Once I refreshed mine, they loaded in. They're like some of the graphical effects or something. If you look at the stream, you can actually kind of see them. They're like lighting effects or something.
Interesting. Yeah, they did load in for me. I'll reload. I didn't know that's what it was.
Well, if folks can remind me, I think our general end time was around 10, with sometimes extending into 10:30 when the need arose.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, just, tell me if this fight needs to stop because it goes on too long. If there is a fight, I'm not saying there is, but there's monsters upstairs. You were all sort of, I think everybody finished their short rest. And you were all sort of led. He sort of leaves you to do the work because he's going to try to fix the rest of the problems happening here in the university. But you are led upstairs several levels, starting to regret agreeing to climb this many stairs. But you pass by several classrooms where you hear that there's sort of like a lecture going on, and then you walk past a sort of like floor of the building that seems to be dedicated. He sort of tells you, like, my office is here, as are all the other professors when they're here. This is the professor's wing. And he leads you past another level that is an observatory, where you see that there's like this giant telescope that's poking out of the building, as well as kind of like a smaller arcane battery that's connected to it, as well as like various couches and whatnot. It seems like it's like an observatory / lounge of sorts. But then he points up to one more floor upstairs and says, so just upstairs is the monster stables. As I said, well, do what you wish. Being able to secure the creature or creatures would be great, but I understand if that's not possible.
Would you give us a warning about what we might face in there? Like an idea of what kind of creatures you guys had?
Off the top of my head, it kind of depends on what. Just the whole thing with me being gone is that it sort of rotates depending on what is being studied at the time. But there are typically, I would say like plant-based creatures, but also sometimes like monstrosities. In the past, we've had, I think we had a Bahir up there at one point.
Is that a demon devil?
No, not we don't really deal with that sort of. That's more of a. We don't really deal with things that have intelligence, if that makes sense. We don't want to like imprison.
Right.
Well, anyway, good luck. As he
Thanks.
Leads you upstairs. So I'm going to pause the game, but then bring you to this screen. And so before you sort of potentially see anything, I'm going to ask, what is your approach to going upstairs? It is as the tower gets sort of higher and higher, it becomes more and more narrow, and so you're sort of like looking upstairs, wondering how much smaller this tower can get, and you're expecting it to be pretty cramped up there.
Well, if it's cramped, I'm the only true melee, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
Oda has a
definitely
sword now, but not so much. Who's in Who's in the back, I guess?
Probably me.
Okay.
I'd probably be right behind Clax. Just
All right.
curious about what we're walking into in this magical tower.
Okay.
I'll be behind Flint. Andrade, you want to be behind me?
Gorgeous.
Don't touch me, because there's just a lot of electricity going on everywhere. I'm pretty, anywhere you touch is a zap, Pretty bad.
Incredible.
And are you all
I think
attempting?
Drada has
Go ahead.
This was a dumb bit. Please go.
No, please. Maybe it's too late.
Oh, good. I was like, I think Drada has the gay shaved sides of the head and a big floof of hair. I think that's how we described it. So again, it's just straight up.
Like
Mohawk.
It looks
style.
just as much gelled mohawk as one can have, and just bald.
Very good. Are you guys attempting to be stealthy?
Do we want to pass without trace moment?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it couldn't hurt. That potentially lets us get to the door to just close it if they're not out and about and alerted, right?
Okay.
Well,
And if we're all one next to each other.
I was gonna say though, if we're gonna try that approach, that should probably just be Drada going solo. but then he gets caught out in the open for whatever reason.
So the game is paused. This is just sort of your general marching order, sort of spiraling down the stairs with Clax in front. If you're going to activate Pass Without Trace, I would do so now before we start rolling.
I'm fine to do so. I have spell slots as of now, and we are all clustered together, which means we all benefit. So
Sounds like a plan.
I'll also go ahead and burn a spell slot and summon another cannon since we short rested and that's probably gone.
Yep.
And will give us some temp hit points.
I unpause just so you can put it down because I don't know if you need to.
Um,
Oh, it's just on top of you. Okay, I'll just put it there. All right, let's go ahead and get a stealth check.
Oof. God.
Not bad, not bad.
I think if somebody else's dice hits mine, I should get to take the higher number.
I
Doesn't-
have had this thought.
Then we add 10 to all that, right?
yes.
Oh, you've
Oh.
activated that.
Oh, did it
Um,
automatically do this?
hold on. Did it add the plus 10 already? Is what I'm trying to figure out.
It didn't for me,
No.
I don't think.
Okay, then we're just adding plus 10 to all this. The lowest was 20, so if you just give me a moment to roll a thing. It's plus 2, so it's probably I literally rolled a nat 20. I'm gonna well, oops, hold on. Trying to not fudge the dice, but it did have to sort of find all of you. So, okay. What I would say in this situation, you sort of hear as you're coming up the stairs, like kind of like a grunt coming out of this room, as if like maybe something heard something, but you don't see anything poking its head out. You also see that this door here on the left is open. You see a sort of like big sort of door that is shut, like a big sort of like bank style vault door here that is shut. And then looking into these two other rooms, this one you just sort of see a tree that is closed. And then I'm trying to remember which doors you can. Okay, yeah. This one you just sort of like look in and see a tree. This one is open. You can kind of, if you scroll in, you can see the open and closed icons, I think. Several of them are open, but you don't see anything in this one or in this one, nor in this one. This one is where you heard something from.
Why don't we close the door on the room that we heard something in so we don't have to deal with them? Which isn't it? How do you ping? Sorry.
Just hold your left mouse down.
Isn't it this one?
I think that's where we heard something. Clax, do you want to try and close that door? You know, in case it needs to be held closed?
I'll go up. I have my axe at the right, but I'm just gonna kind of put my arm past the end of my shield, just kind of see if I can push the door closed or pull the door closed, whatever it is.
Give me a sleight of hand check as you come up to this door.
Sleight of hand.
This is happening if it's possible, but like if I'm like enough of the way up the staircase that I can like ready a shot in the door frame, would love to do so.
Sure. I mean, we're not in combat, but I would just sort of
Not bad.
yeah, we're not in combat to the point where you can sort of literally do that, but I think you're ready to go. You're not going to be surprised, is what that kind of comes down to. So you sort of go over to try to close the door. It starts to this is sort of like a metal door, and it starts to creak a little bit with a 13, and you do manage to shut it, but then you hear a sort of sound come off of the gate as like the bars start to like animate into the shape of a mouth, and it says, "The wrong creature is in the wrong biome. This door will not lock." And
No.
Can I look in the window and see what it is?
yes, let's just roll initiative really quick.
That is not a small thing in there.
I can't see. Oh no.
Oh! Good. Oh, good.
Clax, you were able to roll initiative this time? Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right.
Hopefully it got added. Yep, looks like I did.
So it's sort of like you draw to see this sort of troll that is in the room starts to rotate, hearing the sound of the door, and it just sort of like sneers at all of you.
Okay, incredible.
You get the sense, just sort of looking at it, it is an ice troll, and based on what you heard about the biome situation, you think if you were to try to close the door on it, you would have to get it into this ice room. These are like icy stalactites.
Can this thing fit through the doors?
It must have
Yeah.
squeezed through.
Cool. Yeah, Drada's brain goes, yeah, that's so many steps to get that from one room into the other, squeezing through doors that will not happen. We're gonna Hunter's Mark and let loose some bolts because it's stressful. So concentration drops on Pass Without Trace. That's fine. Bonus action on his mark. That's up. And then crossbow bolts will
Yep.
fly.
Just 3 bolts to the face, and I think Clax is technically adjacent, so one of these will be sneak attack.
Oh.
Because it hasn't gone in initiative yet, I think these are all automatically advantaged.
Incredible. And yeah, we'll use sneak attack.
Okay, that time it did add the Dread Ambusher, by the way. Oh boy.
Glad that we got that 20 there.
It is.
One
more bolt.
and then
Less good that time.
and then and Dread Ambusher got added.
Yes.
Probably won't do.
Yes.
Yeah, it did on the first attack.
Yep.
Fantastic. And then yeah, I will use whatever cover with the staircase I have to kind of duck down and get out of the way.
Alrighty. Are you staying still though?
If possible, like I would try to like, if it's possible to shimmy past Mouse like further down into the staircase.
Sure. It's a little hard to manage, so I'm gonna move you up here as if you're down there.
That's totally great.
Okay. So you're technically on top of Flint, we'll say right now. But all right, Mouse.
Yeah. Do I currently... No, I wouldn't. So do I need to go left before I can go... Here's my plan. I would like to see the creature, Misty Step to the other side of the creature, and then summon a flame blade to, like, wave at it to try and scare it back towards its biome direction.
That would be 2 leveled spells, unfortunately.
Oh, it is a leveled spell, even though it's innate, isn't it? Good call. but I have produce flame, so
Fair,
I'll do
yeah.
thing and look threatening with a little produce flame.
Okay. I'm going to move you on top of Flint because you're functionally walking up the stairs, and then you should be able to Misty Step inside the room. If you just click into the room within 30 feet, it should automatically happen. I think.
It's over here, though, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh. My path is blocked.
It might be technically blocking the path. Just put yourself right there, and I'll move you in.
My path is still blocked.
Okay. It must be okay. It's fine. Just click anywhere.
My
Just
path
to
is
get rid of. Okay, here we go. You've teleported, but I'm going to manually teleport you here. Can you not see in this room?
I cannot see.
What is going on?
I can't see in there either. But
I-
I just assumed it was dark vision.
I was gonna say I can see, but it's gray, so I'm guessing there's not a light source.
Yeah. So there's a light issue in here right now. I guess if you starry form, maybe it'll be the same intended effect. What is? Let me just put a light in here. Can you see now?
Oh god, it's huge.
Okay.
Jesus.
Sorry, let me just drop a light.
That's why we shot him.
Okay. He's bigger and closer than I thought.
You can tell Millie and I had no idea what was happening.
You can be here if you wanted to be out of his range when you teleported in.
I would like to be out of his range. And then, yeah, I'm gonna produce flame and try and look scary. I'm not throwing it at him. I don't
Okay.
want to be threatening. I
yeah.
want to look intimidating.
Don't bother clicking the spell then, because it'll end up triggering an attack. But roll me a intimidation check.
Yep. Oh, I produced flame by
That's
accident.
fine.
Sorry.
You hit yourself, but I'll heal you.
Can I wheel myself?
Sure.
It's an extra D6.
Come on, 6. All right.
All right. My game flashed again, so give me a second to log in and make a wisdom check on his behalf.
I want to note that I did ask, or was surprised about whether or not this thing could fit through the door. So it should have given some indication that it was quite large.
I just assumed he was like, a big guy, but I didn't
He's
know
just
he
a
was
big
so
guy.
scary. He's just a big guy. Nothing wrong
He's
with
just a
him.
big guy. He's just a big cold, and he's so cold.
Oh.
He's so cold.
And
He
he's-
needs to be warmed up.
And he's so not dealing with this threat right now.
Well, I'm also the smallest and therefore, like, the less tasty to eat. So there's a decent chance he's gonna run away from me anyway.
All right. I think that's your action, bonus action. So Flint.
Oh, me? Would it be an action or just like a free action or whatever to just check this door that's like right closest to me and see if it is?
I'm just dropping lights in those other rooms. The big hatch.
Yeah.
You can use your free item interaction to just click on it.
Is there any sort of window or anything on the door?
No,
okay.
this is like a for sure secure room.
Yeah, sure. I will use my free action to click on that and see
All right.
what
It's
happens.
Super locked.
All right. I'm just going to Scorching Ray this guy, because fire.
Yeah.
Oh. You must target a token.
So hover over him and hit T. This is like a special because it targets 3 guys. Hit T and then you should be prompted to say how many rays. If you were to target more than one person, you'd have to like hit T on all of them.
3. Okay. I was just doing things so automatically.
And you're absolutely destroying him as well. He looks not very pleased about that.
This is the thing I think you had messaged me about,
It's
where
fine.
like it is
Yeah.
adding like d8s to multiple.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
Okay. But I think that's mine. I have an extra bonus action that I haven't used. I will try and telekinetic shove him out of the door, like
Sure.
away from Mouse. Which I haven't looked for yet.
Yeah, I can just roll athletics for him because I think your DC is probably like 17, and he rolled. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
I rolled not expecting. He succeeded on both rolls, manual roll and the real roll.
Fair. Nope, that's my turn.
All right, Aesop.
All right. It looks like we're killing this guy. So I am going to cast Psychic Lance at him. Boop. Doop. He has to make an intelligence saving throw.
He absolutely failed and is now incapacitated. He took
Amazing.
35. Jesus.
It's a really good roll for 76. Jeez Louise.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah. Make sure I don't miss anything on that. And then, oh gosh, I hate how I have to ask this again, but I do a spell for my action.
Then
Has to be a cantrip.
yeah, and there's no cantrip bonus actions, so
Yeah.
you can't.
Okay.
You can bardic inspiration or something, but
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Use feature. That's not it. Where would it be? Bardic Inspiration. Perfect. Who's up next in the order? I'll give it to Clax.
Yeah.
There you go, Clax. You get a Bardic. You get inspired. D10.
Works for me.
Very
It's
good.
sort of occurs to me between Bardic Inspiration and like Enlarge and Enhance Ability and whatever else, we probably could have just had Clax just carry this thing back to its.
All right, it is incapacitated. However, at the beginning of its turn, it's radiating a cold aura. Trying to put this in chat. Oh wait. Okay, you're gonna have to, because it's incapacitated. It won't let me roll this, but the ability has nothing in it. It just says while it's alive, the troll generates a cold aura. So I need any creature that starts the turn within 10 feet of the troll takes 3d6 cold damage.
Ew.
There's no roll involved. So Mouse and Clax, if you could both take 6 cold damage.
I'm within 10 feet of it.
Yes, you're around the corner. You cannot. I'm going to move you down here. It's right there.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay.
And it's now your turn because it cannot act.
All right, I'll worry about my damage here in a minute.
I'll do it for you.
Oh, thank you. And somehow I lost some superiority die, but I don't think I've used any of them, so I don't know what happened there. But anyways, I'll go ahead and move my 5, and I will go ahead and attack. Did that not go through? So first one should hit on 25. I don't need to use the Bardic Inspiration for 18 slashing.
Trying to remember if incapacitated is technically auto crits or something, but I think you've got this either way.
Yep. Bardic Inspiration, that lasts how long?
10 minutes.
Well, I'll save it then just in case because we might have more than one fight, so...
Okay. I have to adjust these sounds. You slam it down and it doesn't even seem to notice just because it is currently racked by Aesop's spell. And this initiative seems to be over.
Yeah, for whatever reason, it's my maneuver points are getting consumed. I don't know what's going on with that. So just as a heads up.
Okay. I will look into it. Well, you look around and sort of like glancing sort of the immediacy of this room, sort of some of these torches come back on that had been sort of dimmed by the cold aura. It seems that nothing was remaining in this one room that you were just in. It seems like it may have been munching on something. But these other rooms, the doors are still open. So what would you do?
If they have things like that here, I'm scared to see what else is around the corner.
I will say for me. Oh, good, Fleeg.
I was gonna say I was gonna probably work on trying to just lockpick this door. But
You want to open the door.
it feels like that's where like the controls are. Well, all right, let's see if we need to open the door before I do that. Like,
Is it the door that leads to the controls, or is it a door that's leading something
This is
the big
horrible
bang.
out?
it's a good question.
The counterpoint, we'll never know unless we find out.
Base
Let's
of a holder in a really tight space like that.
And the last time that happened, we were totally fine.
Let's start with just trying to like close these doors.
That sounds great.
Okay. You're just closing all the existing doors. So you start with this one that sort of seems to have like mushrooms in it, and as you close the door, you hear some like locking mechanisms engage. It seems satisfied that either there's no monsters in there, or that whatever biome specific thing is not affecting that room.
Just for fun, I'm gonna cast Detect Magic and just glance in each room before we close the door.
Sure.
Because these things apparently produce reagents and cool stuff. Yeah.
As you are finding the button for it, you see that each of these doors does have sort of like latent abjuration based magic, such as to presumably engage the locking mechanisms. But as you sort of like peek into these gates, I don't know what the radius of this is. I'm moving you just because I'd say like moving you. None of these, from where you are looking, you can't see the exact edges of all these rooms, but nothing looks like it immediately triggers for you.
Okay. I vote we close them.
All right.
Just around the circle then?
I think so.
Yeah, without issue, you are able to close all these doors, and all of the locking mechanisms engage. Doesn't mean there wasn't stuff behind them, but it means that they didn't come out yet.
Well, they all locked, and that's what they wanted. Do we want to
We
try
only
to...
killed one thing.
Yeah. Do we want to try to unlock the big scary door?
And be like, oh no, it's suddenly unlocked and locked itself.
If Arcana's in there, it has been in there the whole time.
If I may, are we ready to get into whatever's behind the door? Because I will speak for myself. I am close to my bedtime.
Well, if there was something on the other side of the door, we would just... That would be
Okay.
the top of the next session. The question is, do you want to open it?
Flint, I leave it up to you.
I mean, Flint always wants to, push the little red button. what have you. So my vote would be yes, but if others think it is a poor choice,
I think we continue to regret not going to a kobold cave many sessions ago, and I feel like if there's a door, we should open it.
I also just feel like, I don't know, if there were a god in this universe, not the gods that do exist, just like an omnipresent god who dictates narrative, and he presents you with a locked door, he would maybe be disappointed in you if you didn't fuck with it.
What?
But
I'm
who's to
going
say?
to be up the stairs.
yes,
Just
I'm going to
checking
unlock
in from
door.
above.
Oh, sorry, this is the top of the stairs. There's no more up. It's only down.
Oh. Well, I'll be down then.
Well, first,
With guidance.
can I glance at the door and see if there's any traps or anything?
Sure. You may roll investigation if you would so choose.
Rado, are you gonna be the one lockpicking?
That's an interesting question. I don't know whether me or Drata is better at lockpicking.
Well, I said I was
That's a great
guidance
question.
you, so you have an extra D8. I just can't find the guidance button.
Drata might be better. I'm only at a +10. Like, I have expertise, but my dex isn't super high.
For sleight of hand,
For thieves' tools.
use tools. I'm at a +7, so go for it.
I'm gonna guide you, or not guide. Sorry, that's mouse.
Well,
It's-
starting with
let's-
investigation.
Yeah, I'm gonna inspire you anyway.
I would also love to have, just in case, I don't know, something emerges, have shifted, not have let Hunter's Mark drop, instead have shifted it to Flint in the meantime.
Just in case you want to attack him.
No, just in case something appears, and then I can bonus action shift it again and not
well,
waste a
You're
spell slot.
concentrating on it. You don't have to shift it. You can shift. You
Oh,
don't
okay,
have to
great.
put it on
Cool.
Flint to do that. You're still just concentrating.
Incredible. Then concentration's just up.
Okay. Where are you guys positioning yourselves, by the way? Just to sort of like place yourself on the map where you want to be.
I am here.
It's stairs time.
Like,
So, if
Klaus,
cover
are
is
you
possible.
Want to be closer to the door, or
Yes, sorry.
oh, you're
Coordinating
good.
with the wife.
You
You got me.
You do investigate the door, and you get the impression that it does have, like, you guys roll so high all the time. You get the impression that the lock is electrified, and that failing would result in damage. You also get the sense that it is a reasonably difficult lock.
Well, so I think it's only going to electrify me if I fail. Then I'm just not going to fail.
Hold on. I will one guidance you, and I will also wheel your lockpicking roll.
So I said this was going to happen at the very beginning of the campaign, but we're just going to use all the things on this. Because I'm also going to use a bardic inspiration and whatever it's called, Flash of Genius.
The DC is 25, so you could still fail, but even that, you have quite a bunch of pluses.
All right. So I'm gonna thieves tool.
Actually, let me check that DC before I confirm that, because I don't want to. It is written down. Yes, it is. It is a 25. Yep.
All right. So I'm not clear if this is going to ask me for all the various bonuses, but yeah, I don't think it's. Oh God. Well, let's hope our bonuses roll well, because that didn't. Bardic inspiration.
My two were a +8.
For guidance and for wheel.
Yes.
So I did get to roll the Bardic Inspiration, which bumped it to a 20.
21 plus 8. Okay. And
Eight.
you didn't even
And
use
I
Flash
would
of
get-
Genius. Yeah.
Yeah, I said Flash Genius, and I think it's
Okay.
before I know. So
Okay.
I would use that.
So 32. You unlock the door. There's like a little like tinge of electrical energy that does sort of scare you for a moment, but then it does sort of release the latches, and you know that all you have to do is push open the door.
Well, yes, I push open the door.
Alrighty. Do you want to click it or should I?
Oh, sure.
All
Oh,
right.
jeez.
We are going to end the
Yep.
session there. You see, just looking inside at a very brief glance, you see that there is a huge chimera that is chained to the floor. If you look inside, there are 3 molten eggs in the corner that it seems to be protecting. But for now, we will end because this could be at least a few turns of combat.
Wow.
You just
Well,
gotta
thank you for
open up-
another great
open every
session.
door. Yes, I'm glad to be back.
Yes.
Fantastic, everybody.